everyone, and welcome to Story Lords, episode 41. It's the fiction podcast with 2 prompts, 3 stories, and infinite laughs. But this week, it's fucking 4 stories, man. 4 stories.
Like a 4-story building.
Yeah.
Was I supposed to write another story?
Yeah, you were. And if you haven't, you're fired.
Oh, well, alright, I guess I'll see you.
Alright, okay.
Good thing we have a replacement in the wings.
I am one of your hosts, Rich Masters. With me, as always, is Josh Henderson.
What's up?
Jeff Pennington.
Yo.
And special, sexy super guest, Greg Javasi.
Ow! Ow!
What's going on?
Greg, you do all the music for every show we ever do.
Yeah.
I like doing music. You know, I like long walks on the beach.
I'm writing this down. Hold on.
Yep. Yeah. I like chocolate chip cookies.
How do you feel about man on man? I'm not asking for any specific reason.
Man on man? Yeah. I mean,
Depends on the man.
why not man on man on man?
How
Why
do you
not
feel
that?
about quad
Wait a
kissing?
minute. There's
Somebody's
4
getting
men
left
here.
out of that.
Yeah. And I feel like it was me because of geography.
No.
Oh,
We're
wait,
gonna
no,
do a
yeah.
fucking human centipede with our dicks. That's what we're gonna
Maybe
do.
I'm just watching.
Oh,
That could be it too.
Oh, okay.
Likes to watch.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I do all the music stuff. You know, I'm just excited to be here, happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Anytime. The first guest in the history of Story Lords.
Of podcasts, yes.
It is a hefty thing to hold up here right now.
Better be good.
So
Go on.
you're at
the pressure's on.
Whether
hell
or
yeah.
not the guest system works, no pressure or anything.
I'd love to tell a guest that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too, evidently.
Makes them feel at ease.
So
You're an experiment, and if it fails, it's your fault.
yeah, absolutely.
That's what my mom told me too. So
Oh!
That's what we tell Josh every time before we record.
Good thing I don't listen to you
I
guys.
feel sorry for your older brother, Greg. Jeez.
I know. Tell me about it. It's rough.
He's been written off.
So if you're thinking, Greg, I don't know a fucking Greg. Who's Greg? Greg is VIDAZEN, okay? You fucking
Yeah.
ingrates. So
Damn.
anyway,
VIDAZEN, who is listed, of course, on our website as the Bard of Story Lords.
Yes.
Because he's made every track that
yes.
you've heard for this episode and the last one.
And as we all know,
It is-
like in Baldur's Gate 3, Bard overpowered.
Absolutely true.
absolutely, yeah. And you're
Nerf
gonna,
the
you
bards.
guys.
First take their pants off, and then we'll see what else we can nerf.
I think for the next 3 weeks you'll be hearing new VIDAZEN tracks on the show as well.
Yeah, what possessed you with no prompting whatsoever to make 9 full music tracks for this podcast?
You know, I think it's just I love my friends. I love my friends.
Man,
He's gonna replace me.
he's got human emotions. He's going to replace us all.
You know, we were thinking about maybe replacing Josh, so...
We got to wind them up every time we start. You know.
Good thing I don't listen to you guys.
Did you guys know that the Josh on podcast isn't the same Josh on Continue? It's a fun fact for you.
Real true fact.
Damn. They cloned him finally.
Finally.
One's
Got
an
it.
android.
We've got the Hume version.
I'm still waiting on mine to arrive.
So, this week, our prompts were... Okay, I'm going to stop us because otherwise we're going to just do this for 45 minutes,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
That's okay.
This
yeah.
Circle jerk.
our prompts were Laboratories or Laboratories, however you want to pronounce that, and cucumbers or cucumbers, however you want to pronounce that.
Kumba.
Cucumbers.
I prefer that
Yeah.
way. Yes, Jeff. Cucumba.
Cucumbers.
And this week, Mr. Henderson is going first.
Yay.
Better be good.
Yeah.
I gotta think of a title.
Oh boy.
Title. Fucking cucumbers are good. There you go.
I love guesstimating the titles of your stories when I put them up on the Patreon.
I'll write it in there. Okay, here we go. The suns arose over Daranos like a giant cosmic boner, causing everyone to go, whoa, cool, while yawning because it was really early.
Wow.
And in a nearby tree, a bapple hung upside down, ready for sleep. A fur beetle scurried underground at the sound of a distant screechy hawk going, scree! Because we use stock sound effects on this show. A Merc Monk was already awake, sweeping his tree stump doorstep, while a robin chirped next door. The Merc Monk stopped and looked over and gave the robin the slit throat sign. All was right in the world. Demi awoke slowly to the sound of Ugla already packing up camp. How many episodes has this happened, she thought to herself. Surely it's gotta be like 4 by now. Buffcat returned to camp and threw down a slew of fishes near the fire. Mew mew, he said, as he began to gut them with a single long claw. Jelly slurped over and helped absorb the discarded guts. He was like a portable trash compactor, or like your mama's sweet crotch hole, and that you could stick anything inside of there, and eventually it'd slowly dissolve into nothing, both physically and more often than not, emotionally.
Hey.
Get up, sleeping duties. Today we get to Graal, Ugla said firmly, but with a note of happiness in her voice. Demi hadn't heard that tone in weeks. It almost sounded like hope. Oh, we're so close I can almost taste it in the back of my bunghole, Squib said. Mew, 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 Buffcat asked. Yeah, because that's how close we are, Squib said, as if that was a stupid question.
I knew what he said.
All right, I don't want any fuckery or skullduggery or fuckwittery or dumb fuckery going on today, Ugla said firmly. We're getting to Graal today, and so help me dickless or Christ, if anything stupid happens, I will teleport anyone who gets in our way directly to the pain mines. Do not pass go, do not collect 200 boar skins, or whatever the fuck people use for money in this dumb universe.
Or Christ, I want to meet him.
Yeah, you do.
I think that was Gandalf's sword, wasn't it?
Yeah. No. Yes. Is it? Or is
Glamdring, isn't it?
Yeah, it
or
was
Krista's Thorin's sword.
Mm-hmm.
more like boring.
Ah, fucking got him.
Got him.
Got it. No skull fucking, Demi said, taking a mental note. As they trudged along the old worn paths in the woods, Ugla could almost smell the spices in the air coming from the big Bapple herself. She breathed in the fresh air and exhaled, pausing to take a moment. She hadn't felt this good in a long time, when suddenly she heard a rustle in the branches. Help me! Someone help me! Screamed an old peasant man. Oh no, Demi said, half smiling. Mew, 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 Buffcat said. A single pumping vein began to throb in Ugla's forehead as an emaciated old peasant man leaned over out of breath. Help me! He wheezed in and out. I've been tracking my long-lost puppy for days. Could you possibly... Before he could finish, Ugla had already opened a portal to the pain mines and was readying her staff to push him in. Why? He screamed as he zoomed out of this reality. Wow, you weren't kidding around, were you? Squib asked. Let's go, Ugla said firmly. But that guy's puppy, Demi asked, confused. Demi... He was an old man looking for his puppy in the woods at like 8 o'clock in the morning. He was most definitely a predator. I'm surprised he didn't say he had candy rubies in his bone van down by the river. Ugla said, pushing on. Ooh, candy rubies. I love those. And their cinnamony goodness, Demi said, kind of zoning out, thinking about candy now. Look, kid, Ugla said, moving branches away from her face. You have a lot to learn that people in this time aren't all nice. Don't believe everyone just because they seem like they're innocent and kind. When we get to Graal, I'll get you a candy puppy or a ruby bone band or whatever you want. I wonder if there are green rubies that are apple flavored or even better, lime flavored, Demi said in wonderment, having already moved on because kids are fairly stupid and oblivious to anything around them.
Amen.
That's for
Rich, always the first to speak.
That's for Rich. Meanwhile, in the pain mines, a single old man zooped in and immediately was chained up and put to work. Back to work, you pederast, shouted a guard.
Wow.
Oh my God.
What is he back at work at?
He's been there before. He's a multiple offender.
Okay.
I'll get you for this, Ugla, said the old man, knowing her name for some reason. I'll get you and your sexy little goblin friend, too, he said pervly.
Oh, no.
Aren't you gonna whip me? Said the old man, asked the guard. Ew, no, said the guard, turning and leaving. This truly is heck, he screamed. Meanwhile, Ugla pushed Bramble and Brush away Ugla pushed Bramble and Brush away and sighed with relief. There in the distance was Graal. The morning haze covered most of the city like a fine film of familiar stank on your favorite t-shirt that your girlfriend's giant tits have stretched out, making it impossible for you to wear anymore. Or like the clear plastic film on a new piece of electronics. That is so satisfying to peel off.
Those two things.
Two very, they go together.
Same thing.
And peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and slime.
Lamb and tuna fish. We made it, Ugla said, relieved. Meanwhile, while this meanwhile was happening, Sid and Peppercorn strolled down a busy merchant street in Graal. I'll take 2, Giuseppe, Sid said, holding up 2 fingers. Thanks. Here, Pep, it's called a stickle. It's just a pickle on a stick, Peppercorn said, turning the stickle over and examining it. Yeah, isn't it great? Sid said, almost deep-throating the stickle like he were on a Brazzers set.
Can't believe this.
Hell yes.
We're not done yet, Rich. We're just getting started.
No, it's the hive mind working again.
Oh, shit.
no.
It is because mine also.
No!
Wow.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
The hive mind reaches beyond the normal cast.
It's nuts.
This is a good experiment. We should test this.
Ooh.
Yeah, I feel like I'm paying more for the novelty, though, you know? Peppercorn said pessimistically. Like, I can just eat the pickle with my hands. I don't really need the stick. And, like, it's just a pickle, you know? It's not even deep fried or have those Oreo crumbs on it or turn you into a chair or anything. Grumbled Giuseppe. Thanks, Giuseppe, Sid said, handing him a coin. No problem, said the orc. Come in, flamingos. This is Mayor Pizza. Over. A voice came over Sid's all
Joey.
I forgot about Mayor Pizza.
He does know he doesn't have to say over, right? Peppercorn scoffed. This is Sid, Mayor Pizza. What can we do for you? Sid responded by holding up his all-sea-ball image of Mayor Joey Pizza, still wearing his mayoral sash from his inauguration that read, Mayor in the streets, Slayer in the sheets.
Hey.
That's a shirt.
Shirt it. I need you to go down to Zug's various sundries and wares and take care of something for me, the mayor said weirdly. Do you mean like do an errand for you or like take care in quotes, Sid said. He's got a lot of antiques in that shop, and I at least want to know if he's got anything that could like change the fabric of time and space as we know it, the mayor gesticulated Italianly.
I can see it.
Italian emoji.
The 69th Amendment nuts aren't going to be happy about that, your mayorness, Sid said. I'm not taking away their right to transform themselves into having bear arms or use magic to do super cool shit and stuff. As says in the sacred scroll, the Constitution. The mayor over-explained for the audience, having now invested a paragraph into this joke. This quote-unquote joke. Just go take a look around. We've been hearing rumors of a heist, and I won't have that in my city, he paused. Unless it's me and my crew doing the heisting, capiche? We're on our way, your mayorness, Sid said. Mayor out, Joey said, hanging up the all-sea call. So, we're going antiquing this episode? Peppercorn asked, breaking the fourth wallery. As Sid opened the old creaky door to Zug's, a tiny little jingle bell tinkled above his head. Come in, come in, a friendly, deep dwarven voice came from somewhere between the rows and rows of junk. It was like at the end of the Raiders of the Lost Ark, fuck the Best of Hoarders marathon on TLC in this place. So basically every antique shop ever in the history of antique shops. How can I help you today? Asked the voice. We're antiquing, Peppercorn responded, dripping with sarcasm. For the mayor, Sid interjected. Out from behind a stack of ancient-looking texts popped a gray-haired dwarf whose face was saggier than your mama's front and back fupas.
Get fucked.
Give me the stickle to take the taste out of my mouth for that joke.
For some reason,
You can take my stick away.
Okay.
This show is good.
for some reason, I immediately pictured yogurt from Spaceballs when you described this guy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the mayor. It's his anniversary soon, if I recall, Zug the dwarf said. To his third mistress, I believe.
What?
Peppercorn said to nobody. Sid nudged him in his side. We're more here on business, Sid said, pointing to the pin on his lapel. There was a pin of the hand of the mayor. It was a lot like the pin of the hand of... It was a lot like the pin for the king, the hand of the king from Game of Thrones, but on this one, the hand was upright with a single middle digit erected skyward. Ah, yes, Mr. the Rogue. I am, of course, here to serve. If you need anything special, I'm sure we can procure that for you and his mayoralness, Zug said with a wink. And I'm here, too, Peppercorn said, pointing to his lapel where he had pinned the stickle onto himself because there was no way he was going to finish that whole thing. Peppercorn gave a wink and a clicking sound. Okay, Zug said. We've been told that you may have some powerful artifacts that could be on... Wait. We have been told that you may have some powerful artifacts that could be on the all-sea-dar of some very unsavory people. Sometimes I write something and I don't even know what I'm doing.
Wow.
We're just here to check them out. We're not going to take them. Don't worry. No need to go all Clanuary 6th on us.
What? Whoa. Wait a minute. What's the difference between Clanuary 6th and January 6th? Sounds the same thing to me.
That's the joke, Rich.
Wah, wah, wah.
Zug laughed. Don't worry, young man. I'm not going to. There's stuff in here from the old world. I don't even know what some of it does. I delved deep and hard to find most of this stuff. Zug picked up an ancient-looking handheld glass tablet. Whoa, it's like a ballless old sea ball, Peppercorn said, instantly fascinated. I was able to turn it on once. Had some text pop up about how scientists invented white people and how they became gorillas. And how these white people share 99% of genetic material with gorillas? I don't know, Zug said.
All hail Dr. Yakub.
Funny, I shared 100% of my genetic material with your mama last night, Peppercorn said to himself. What about this over here? Sid asked, pointing to a golden sword lodged inside a giant big stone. It glowed in golden beauty. That's Excalibur, Zug said matter-of-factly. A legendary weapon that allows its wielder to be good at sex and fucking and fingering and so forth, Zug trailed off.
Damn, I need that.
Do you have to be holding the sword while boning? Peppercorn asked, completely logically and speaking for all of us in the audience. Oh, yes, Zug replied. But if a lover won't let you hold a sword while he or she is face down, ass up, spread full cheeks doggy, is it even worth being with said lover? Fair point, Sid said.
Yeah.
We need to start doing Hallmark cards, I think.
Oh, this might be of interest to you, comedy gnome, Zug said, gesturing for Peppercorn to follow. On the shelf deep in the back of the shop sat a dusty mechanical-looking device about the size of a radio. It had 2 large antennae jutting out from either side at about the size of a small computer monitor. The ancients called this a quantum communicator. They experimented with early magic to try and communicate across great distances instantaneously. Zug flipped a tiny Frankenstein switch on the side of the device as static filled the space between the 2 antennae. Peppercorn scoffed. Yeah, it's called an all-sea ball, he laughed. How did these cave-dwelling rock humpers even wipe their own butts, am I right? He said as they all chuckled at how stupid people were from back now. Meanwhile, Ugla and the gang made their way up to the front gates of Graal. Ugla could barely contain her excitement and ran up to the closed gates. Weird, but not unheard of for the gates to be closed this early. Maybe all the haze made it hard for the merchants to sell their wares. She knocked on the gate. No response. She said, getting a little anxious. Huge melons, she chanted the ancient opening spell. Finally, the gates gaped open wider than your mama's sweet back meat last night while you were at your friend Kyle's house.
Damn it, Kyle.
He serves his purpose. The dust from the gates covered her eyes, and she coughed out and squinted through the haze. There it stood. Graal. Completely destroyed.
What?
What? She choked. How? This can't be. Maybe they're redecorating for our return, Squid said stupidly optimistically. Debbie looked through the fog to see buildings long destroyed. She knew it all too well. It looked like her home. It looked like her future. On the streets, people shambled along like daywalkers in need of a bump of blood. Zombies whose lives had long ago ended, but were just too stubborn to give up shuffling along. Their lives a living LMFAO song stuck on repeat.
Oh, no. That's hell.
Yeah. Ugla dropped to her knees and began to sob. This was her home. For all of its problems and pollution and stank-faced bitchiness and uncontrolled poverty and the water tasting like lead and no free parking on Sundays, this was her home that she loved. You blew it up! You maniacs! You blew it up! She screamed. Buffcat came over and laid a paw gently on Ugla's shoulder. Mew mew, he said. Ugla gripped the dust in her hand and clenched it into her fist. After all this time, after all those stupid episodes saving towns all along the road to Graal, what was it for? What was any of this for? Cucumbers! Get your cucumbers on a stick! A street vendor shouted over the din of mumbling, depressed patrons. Debbie walked over and purchased one for a gold coin, having no idea how valuable gold is, or was, since she is a kid and, like I said earlier, oblivious to such trivialities. Oh, thank you, young miss, the street vendor said, biting into the coin to make sure it wasn't lead. Demi chomped into the cucumber's juicy, watery goodness as she let the flavorless, watery boringness of the fruit wash over her.
Thank you.
Just like most fruits she had been introduced to, this fruit was definitely a fruit and not a vegetable.
Thank you.
Good thing this fruit had so much flavor and wasn't boring as fuck at all in every way and just used as filler for house salads at pizza places.
God, I am vibing so fucking hard with this story.
Pretty good, she said. The vendor bowed a humble bow. Could use a bit of pickling, though. Like, if you could pickle this thing and maybe put it on a stick. My God, the vendor said. That is the single greatest idea in the history of ideas. Young lady, you are a culinary genius. Yeah, I know, Demi said, finishing off her delicious fruit that definitely isn't a vegetable. Ugla was drawing runes in the dust and using her magic, much to the shock of the patrons in the dusty square. All right, she said, firmly standing up, pulling herself together. Looks like we're in the wrong time. That idiot Reese sent us to the wrong fucking time period. But are we before now, or are we after now? Squib said weirdly poetically. Back at Zug's shop, Peppercorn and Zug were wrist-deep in ancient electronic parts. This one goes here, that one goes there, right? Peppercorn said firmly. Sid let out a sigh. Mr. Zug, I'm sorry we wasted your time, but I just don't see anything here that would be worthy of all this worry. Not that your shop isn't full of very useful and cool stuff. 'Tis no worry, lad. I'm just glad to have had the company. Gets lonely in here with all this ancient junk. I was starting to feel ancient myself, Zug said with a toothless grin of an old-ass man who forgot his dentures at a Denny's. Suddenly, an explosion rocked the entire shop. Junk and cabinets and old fucking signs that nobody cares a fuck about flew everywhere. In slow motion, Sid could see Zug's wrinkled old skin flap wildly as the force of the shockwave hit his craggy-ass old dirty face. In an instant, Zug flew backward and slammed against an old shelf, knocking everything off of it like Marty McFly when he turns it up to 11.
Oh my god, it's so fucking weird.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no.
Not that, but something close to it.
Peppercorn deftly grabbed the machine and ducked under a fallen bookshelf. Sid shook off the effects of the explosion as fire blazed on his face, his ears ringing with the hum of 1,000 high-pitched screechy hawks. As he focused, he looked up to the now roofless antique shop. There, in all her pin-up hotness, was Axewound atop Axel the Dragon. You fucking bitch! Sid said with a spit. Aw, Siddy, Axewound tutted. Had I known you'd been in this building, I would have made sure to topple it all at once. But alas, I do need something from inside, so if you're done browsing, would you please make your final purchases and head straight to heck, she shouted. Axel, Peppercorn whispered. 69-time Grammy Award-winning metal Mozart Axel the Dragon? Mew mew. Socks leapt from Sid's hand and Socks leapt from Sid's back into his hand, still in sword form. With a howl, Axewound pulled on the golden reins of Axel's bit, and he blew out blue, hot dragon fire straight at Sid. Sid held out Socks firmly like a fucking samurai. As the flames hit, they separated into a fucking dope-as-hell V-shape around him. Socks absorbed most of the heat and deflected the rest. They were both unscathed. Looks like someone learned how to deflect bitch fire, Sid said with a smile. What happened to you, Siddy? Axewound goaded. You used to be so fun. We used to be so fun. What the fuck are you talking about? I've never been in the same story as you, I don't think. Sid said, thinking and hoping someone puts that on the wiki so we could look it up later.
Oh my god, now we're doing synergy.
Malanite, where are you?
Not yet we haven't, stud, Axewound winked. She reared Axel around, the flapping of his wings causing scrolls and detritus to blow like a tornado. Come in! Come in! Anyone, come in! Chickpea, we need help! Fredo, come in! Anyone! Flyman? You know what? Not Flyman. If you're out there, we're good. Peppercorn shouted into the ancient communication device. Back in his room, Flyman's all-sea-ball was blowing up. Finally, my friends are texting me, he said almost happily.
Oh.
He slowly read the text form of Peppercorn's plea and got to the end. Oh, he said, and skulked back to bed, blowing the candles out and covering his face with blankets. It was 9 a.m.
True.
Peppercorn ducked as a giant dragon claw wrenched the bookshelf from atop him. There you are, little pervert, Axewound said. Give me the device and I won't burn this entire city to the ground. Gulp, said Peppercorn audibly, as a massive claw of Axel descended, ready to rend Peppercorn into shredded meats. My only regret is that I never got to use Sexcalibur, Peppercorn said as he closed his eyes. Hello? Who is the... The device crackled to life. This is Wizard Ugla. Who is... This is Peppercorn, the Tinker, here with Sid the Rogue. We're under attack from Princess Cunt Wound. Send help now! Peppercorn replied. Sid, here. Where? Need location. Teleport. Tell him, hang on, and that love him. Suddenly, a purple portal zooped into existence, and a tiny arm reached in and grabbed Peppercorn, pulling him to safety, but not before he dropped the device. Yes! 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 Axwoon said as Axel picked up the device. I'll have what she's having, Giuseppe the Pickle Orc said from outside. Axwoon was already gaining altitude with Axel and hovering over Graal like death on wings. Always love a good day of antiquing, she said with a cackle. You evil bitch! Sid shouted up at her. Later, masturbator, Axwoon said as she opened the golden portal and zooped out of Dodge. Sid helped Zug up from the rubble. He was bleeding, but dwarves were tough. Peppercorn and Chickpea zooped back into the shop and quickly ran over to Sid. Like, what the hell happened here? Chickpea asked. Sid, someone on the device knew who you were. Peppercorn was rambling faster than his mind could compute the situation. She said she needed your location, and she was a wizard named Ugly Tits or something. I don't know. She said she loved you? Did you fucking ugly-titted wizard at some point and not tell me about it? Because that's quite literally something I would really want to hear about, man. I thought we were friends, dude. What the hell? Were they saggy tits or like dinner plate nipples? How many tits are we talking? Like an odd number? Like 5? Did she have a hideous 5 hideously deformed titties? Answer me, Sid. Ugla, wait. No, her tits are great. Like, really great. Like, I could draw them, but I'm not going to do it boobs and hands yet, Sid said. We have to go after Axcon and, like, kill her or whatever. I don't know what she would do with an old rusted out shitbox, but it can't be good. We have to let Ugla know where we went. If she returns to Graal, we need to let her know we heard her and we're going after Axwoon. Sib rubbed his aching back. We don't even know where we're going, Peppercorn said. If we find Axwoon and get the device, we can contact Ugla. She's a wizard. She has great magical powers and she'll find us. We just need the device. So wherever Axwoon went, as long as we can find her, Ugla will find us. Right, but that means we have to find Princess Crackspoon first, Chick said. First things first, we need to leave a marker, some kind of message for her here, in case she returns. I think I have an idea, Sid said, picking up an ancient spray paint can from the rubble. Where am I at here? My Gret is not Sexcalibur, a voice came from Ugla's All-See Ball. That's right, I'm skipping around in time.
Ah.
Hello? Ugla said, fumbling to hold on to the All-See Ball. Hello, who is this? This is the wizard Ugla. Repeat, who is this? Ugla said, with hope in her voice. Someone here could communicate with All-See magic. That means someone here could help them, possibly. Buffcat and Swib were checking out a nearby merchant. Nothing but old fruits on sale, and other various oddities.
You're a fucking old fruit.
You wish. Buffcat's ears perked up and turned toward Ugla as he tuned into her conversation on the All-See Ball. He heard the word Sid. Mew, he said cheerily. By now, the crowd of patrons had taken notice of the wizard using rune magic and talking to a magic ball. They started murmuring and muttering. They slowly gathered around her like a flock of seagulls to a barber who will cut your hair into anything or any shape.
Genius.
Buffcat turned to look at a giant wall behind the merchants. It was one of the only walls left standing in the entire city. The dust began to clear as the morning haze and dust storm slowed down. Buffcat squinted to see an ancient-looking drawing marking the wall with some kind of graffiti. Mew, 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 he said. Tell him to hang on, Ugla shouted into the All-See Ball, and that I love him. And then they all see a ball blinked out. What the hell? Ugla said, as all around her, the patrons and merchants of the merchants themselves were now on their hands and knees praying before her. Some were chanting and crying. Others were lifting their arms up to the sky and thanking whatever god or gods they believed in. Then, through the fog and dust, Ugla saw it. On the wall behind them was a giant graffiti depiction of her, and Sid, and Fred, and two gnomes she didn't know, and Flyman. She choked up and smiled. There they were, her friends, her Sid. To be continued.
Wow.
Oh my god!
I knew you were doing a time skip. I knew you were doing a time skip.
Man.
Yeah, then you said it, and then I had to like think of a better way to do it.
No, it was great. It was great.
Oh my gosh, I love the Sid Ugla stuff so
He's
much.
so sweet.
I'm a sucker.
I'm
sucker for
I'm a
it.
big fan of the term comedy gnome. I need to find out some way
Yeah.
to use that.
Yeah, comedy gnome.
Aren't we all comedy
That's a great
gnomes?
name for like a comedy troupe.
It is.
Amazing, dude.
Damn.
I'm glad I went first.
Yeah. Now it's nowhere to go but down.
Now I can just stroke Sexcalibur.
That's right. I'm bringing it down. Next, let's go.
Your story connected
One by one.
Your story connected to everyone else's story through some sort of weird storyline magic.
I cannot.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't even explain how it happens. Like, we don't talk about this midweek.
No.
We don't talk about the content of our story.
I can attest.
No,
I
we
don't. We
I
don't
can
even
attest
know
to
what
this.
Greg's genre is right
Yeah.
now.
I'm hoping it's
I
Western.
know. I don't know what it is, actually.
Oh,
Mills and Boone.
It's a milieu.
70s porn he's going for.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
he's
Bushes
going
and
for
all.
French film revolution. I think.
Russian cinema.
Russian cinema. Yeah, there
Das
we go.
Boot 2.
No, that was so good though, Josh. I've been loving this season, and just like seeing stuff like how it's coming together and you're just like building on it. It's just so fun.
yeah. I don't know where it's going, but we'll see. I guess.
That's the fun
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
Nobody knows where it's going. We're all along for the ride.
Not even me.
Look, it's obviously working, right?
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Shut up,
Hell
Josh.
yeah.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know, man. I
Look,
don't.
we'll
It's
find
working.
out together.
When are you going to get back to that ant story?
Patience. Be
I'm only
patient.
joking.
Be patient.
Just let them hang for another season.
Oh, fuck,
Season
dude.
and a half.
The tree guy came back around.
Yeah,
Right?
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna be on like season 5, and I'm still gonna be like cutting away to that.
I'm.
Never,
Oh, hell yes.
never explaining it.
I don't think I'm ever going to get over the death of your vampire character.
Oh, Boris, yeah.
Boris,
Man,
yeah.
Boris was tough.
Yeah, it's tough. But we gotta let go of the things we love, Rich.
Who are you telling?
Evan. I was just waiting for someone to say that.
He comes in. Yes, Papa. How
Throw him
may
out
I
the window.
serve you, Papa?
It's tea time, Papa.
Would you like crimpet?
A crimpet.
Would you like crumpet?
Crumpet. That's it. There is a
A
thing called
crimpet
a
is a small
crimpet.
crumpet.
You
No,
gotta
it's
know
a
what
height
cricket
crimpet.
Stuck in one of
is
the
to know what a
chimneys right
crumpet
now,
is.
though. He's playing in the chimney, in the third chimney.
Oh, man.
just chilling.
We've got a leak in one of the chimneys.
Oh, God. Here we go.
All Evan's inheritance money is going to go to fix that.
I mean, Rich, could I just rent one of your chimneys? Because it'd be cheaper than living
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there
sure.
Yeah.
right now.
But you can't rent out Evan's play chimney. That's
Just
his place.
hear like music
Yeah.
randomly coming from the chimney, and people will think we've got some
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of living musician. Well, we will have a living musician, I guess.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
Don't mind
Hey,
him.
I
He's
mean, it'd be more
American.
space.
That's what you'll say.
His
You
music
have
is
an
coarse.
American in your home?
Pet American. How lavish.
How gauche.
How crude.
At least he's not French, am I right?
Oh, you're right.
I actually found out that my dad did that genealogy
Yeah.
thing or whatever. They said that I was related to King Louis XVI.
That's
Wow.
a good one.
somewhere. Yeah. Isn't he the one that got his head cut off?
Is that the
That's
one that the song
14.
Louie Louie is about?
Yes.
That's the party. No, party prince is Charles III. What am I talking
It's
about?
Louis, 16 Louis.
16 Louis.
That's cool.
16 candles, but with one.
It's
Don't
Napoleon.
give away all the good ideas on this podcast.
Yeah, for free. Yeah.
Gotta save some. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
He was the last king before the French Revolution.
So he was the head cut
He
off.
definitely got beheaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was 14. I don't know
Yeah.
French shit.
You just cut my head off and put it in your chimney, Rich. It'd be
All right. Futurama
Jimmy.
style.
I'm so close to doing that myself.
Right. Shall we go for a break? I don't know why I asked this. We're going for a break. We'll be
You're
right
in
back.
charge.
Yeah, you're in charge, man.
That's right. Tell him, Rich.
Welcome back to part 2, you fucking losers. Let's get straight to it. We don't know the genre, we know the page count, but we know nothing about it. So let's get Greg on. Greg.
Okay. All right. My story is titled Welcome to the Metasphere.
Oh no.
The full range of...
my mark.
Sorry, that was my fault. I was like the full range of emotions there. Please continue.
Hell yeah. I never missed my mark. You'd be wise to mosey on out of here. Yeah, you'd best listen, punk. Tumbleweeds rolled in from the corners of a torrid desert landscape. Dust kicked up in a faint breeze that sent small particles flickering in the baking sunlight. A small figure in an overly large Stetson loomed on one end, hand hovering just above a holster. About 10 yards away, 2 men in trench coats and laughably large mustaches haunched slightly with sly expressions and a black box in tow. Listen here, kid. If you want to keep your life, you'll walk away. The one with the black box called out. I could say the same, muttered the stout figure as he perched, stone still. Sweat dripped down the 2 men's crooked faces as they clutched their fists in anticipation, waiting for the small one to flinch. Well, all right then, spoke the other plainly. I suppose we're at an impasse. Only way to settle it is on 3. He peered back to his friend to signal, and then back to the masked, shadowy figure. He stood square and began to call out. 1, 2, 3. Hey! A voice boomed from across the field. You better catch up, I'm gonna beat you there. I'm not buying, get out of here. In the flash of an instant, the 2 trench coats vanished, and the sand turned to grass, and Marcus Miller sat aloof atop a weathered, sullen fence, gripping for dear life at his backpack and Nerf gun in embarrassment. He clutched everything as close as he could to his chest and sat upright like a dog, hearing a car alarm, or Jeff when he hears a lawnmower, or Josh when a dragster rips by, or Rich when a carriage pulls up to take him to his tea time. Oh wait, you guys don't still do that? My apologies. I'm an uncultured bastard.
Sometimes
yeah,
I
that's
do.
right. Yeah, that's right. Roles reversed. I ain't dunking on the British guy this time. It's all self-deprecation from here, baby.
You're gonna fit right in here.
Marcus's eyes darted rapidly until catching a glimpse of 2 figures he recognized as classmates across the field. They ran up the hill and behind the woods that paralleled the wide expanse from where he sat. The fence, perhaps once a vibrant oak brown, was now faded and looked as gray as the austere sky that hung above him. The frame sank heavy towards the earth, listing yet still. Marcus grasped for the strap of his backpack along his right shoulder, pulled it forward and unzipped the front portion, showing the toy gun plastered in stickers, and put it away. He exhaled a heavy sigh of relief and extreme self-consciousness. You know, like how most millennials feel after doing practically anything in life.
Yep.
Marcus was an average boy in an average place at an average time. He was growing up in the middle of Podunk City, where suburbia rules, everybody judges each other by the size of their truck, and mom's haircuts recede faster every year than their overactive, egomaniacal imaginations.
Wow.
Oh, and
Too
and
real.
cops are like everywhere else in the world, pure bastards. They all have, there it is, they all have that Barney Fife-ass complex from it being so whitewashed and the general IQ being lower than your mama's drawers whenever I enter the room and our show is on. Yeah, we're watching that, Larry. Now go to bed. Isn't it past 10 o'clock? Well, you better unless you want some more psychological trauma from what you're about to witness. A-cab.
Look at your dad or whatever you're saying. A-cab or fucking your mom. That would
Damn
fuck
straight.
me up.
Marcus was the shy loner type, less by choice and more by proxy of circumstance. His life was, by all intents and purposes, normal. His parents lived and worked around the area, came home for dinner, but were usually gone most of the day, giving him complete and utter privacy. Kids at school never really bothered him edgewise either. He had just what every other kid his age could dream of, space. And yet, that wasn't always what he wanted or needed. Marcus sat still, listening for any more stirring nearby. He hopped off the fence to a small thud. He stood, smattering his palms together to wipe off the grass. Ah, geez, he groaned as he looked down at his red Chuck Taylors. He peeled back his left heel to see it landed perfectly into a small pile of horse shit.
Oh, God. Jeez.
Man, Mom just got me these, he groaned as he vigorously tried to scrape his foot against the bottom rung of the fence. He gathered himself, started making his way across the field, all the while looking down to make sure no more surprises lurked nearby. As he gazed back up, he noticed a shining, odd strap dangling from above one of the trees nearby. Deadeye always makes his mark.
Yeah, shoot it
Marcus grinned as he took out his dart gun once again and aimed for the glimmer, one eye closed. His grip steadied, he lined up his shot, and quickly pulled on the trigger, only to find the spring action of the toy jamming, stuttering before seizing up completely.
He missed a shot.
Ugh, exhaled Marcus with increasing frustration. This stupid thing sucks. He moved back from the tree and lined up his arm as if he was getting ready to throw a football, and with all his might, he tossed the gun at the dangling strap. He smiled as the toy arched perfectly until it didn't, completely overshooting the target and flinging back into the tree line behind it.
Airball.
Don't trust this kid with a football. No, he howled once more, throwing his arms down in vexation. Shit on his shoe, gray skies all above, and nothing left to lose, Marcus huffed his way into the woods. The sounds of ruffled leaves crinkled and crunched as he collected his bearings to about where he saw the gun land. I swear, if I can just find this thing, he helplessly muttered under his breath. Just then, his eyes spotted a gray blob-like shape poking out of the leaves to his right. Tempering for a moment, Marcus quickly reached to unearth a plastic bag with 2 empty cans of Ford Loco and a tiny bottle of Fireball?
Oh, shit.
Yep, Podunk is just like every other town in America, littered to hell with zero regard for the planet. Gross, thought Marcus as he held out the bag in front of him. Feeling bad and wanting to do something, he tied up the plastic and put it into his backpack till he could find a respectable place to properly dispose of the trash, even if that meant taking it home.
Uh-oh. That's not a good idea.
You're going to get in trouble, Marcus.
Someone's going to think the worst of this.
Just then, somewhere far, far away, but not too far, a small bear cub stared up at his father with doting eyes. What's wrong, Daddy? I'm just happy, son, said a big bear in a ranger's hat with jeans on for some godforsaken reason as a single tear rolled down his cheek.
This story is taking a turn.
This is what it's like in the woods here.
Marcus outstretched his foot and quickly strode to cover the distance. As he did, he heard the crack of a branch to his left. His head shifted as quickly as his heart rate did, pacing momentarily, and he frantically looked for the source. The calls of birds came to a stop overhead as everything stood silent. Whoosh! Leaves fussed aggressively up as a small, blurred mass shot out from below. Marcus, nearly losing his balance, toppled to his side, bumping into a small, stubby branch. He regained his senses, focusing to see a bird flying far up into the tree line past the crooked branches. Crooked branches that began to feel as though they were arching, like vines, encasing both him and everything around him within. Okay, I'm gonna go up to that tree, and if it's not here, I'm leaving, he promised himself in a shaggy-ass Scooby-Doo style way of bargaining. Zoinks! With adrenaline coursing, Marcus began to encroach on a large tree that stood sparse from the densely populated brush. His eyes scanned about for any signs of the plastic gun, but his mind was too preoccupied with thoughts of how to escape racing. A few feet from the tree is when he heard it. Something or someone moving in the leaves behind him, and fast. His eyes widened and his body darted, instinctively. Running past the trunk, he ducked and dove between wild branches that nearly met his face or his flailing limbs. Nothing behind him existed in those moments. He likely ran for a good near minute, till finally he slowed, finding refuge behind the nearest trunk. He huffed, cheeks flushed, body warm and the cool autumn air stinging his ears. Through willpower, he peered carefully, gripping his backpack around the tree. Everything was still, quiet, immobile. He stared for about a minute, dissociating as he caught his breath. Where am I going? How do I get out? He thought. With scarce but survival on his mind, Marcus committed to the only thing he could think of, forward. So he pressed on for a nondescript amount of time, or however long it takes to advance this story, so he could see a clearing through the trees.
Yes, he's doing it.
This is a story lord story.
To believe. A swath of relief washed over him as the tensity in his shoulders quelled. Over the hill, he saw Podunk Public Library, which was not far from his house. If he could make it there, he could get home. But strangely enough, he was looking at it from the opposite side, one he'd never seen before. To his left was another building, one that he didn't recognize. A small, dilapidated, solid cement shanty... A small, dilapidated, and solid cement with some shanty 2x4 boards along the front windows.
That's my house.
Anywhere in America, really.
Yeah.
Marcus cautiously approached as he looked up to see a yellow archway with faded lettering that said, Hyman's Church? No, wait. Kleiman's Tech? He checked his phone. It was still only about 4:30. Pale overtones of gray and white still covered the sky. Well, it's like a half hour back from the library, he negotiated with himself. Mom and Dad don't have one, and I've always wanted my own computer. He tightened his backpack once more, collecting whatever courage he could muster, and stepped forward. The front glass of the door was busted, and any boards that had been covering it were broken and left a gaping hole enough for a small body to fit through. Kind of like your mom after the Story Lords run a train on her right after taking her to a fancy shrimp buffet on New Year's Eve, because we're classy like that, and we know how to treat a bit. What? You don't like hearing these jokes? Well, go fuck yourself, because all my squires over at patreon.com/storylords love this shit.
Hey.
That's patreon.com/storylords. Free advertising. No,
Damn. This is great.
Marcus crawled into the ramshackled entryway that led to a front desk with a little bell. It was a very small area, deceivingly so compared to the appearance from the outside. He continued to walk, but on edge, and peered around the desk corner. A peach armchair sat, covered in dust and soot. Behind it was a door that didn't look like any he had seen before, With no handle, it was more like a gate than anything, but of purely solid material. He pressed his hand against it, cold steel. On the wall adjacent sat a plastic, faded yellow box emitting a faint red glow. No number pad or seemingly other techie type of device that he could think of. He turned 360 degrees, perplexed. Seemingly nowhere to go from here, kind of like in a concept of an escape room. Yeah, this'll be fun. Confined spaces with people you already can't stand. Who the fuck thought that was a good idea? He strolled back over to the desk with his mind buzzing. Crouching, he used his phone light to see 2 small metal switches on the far corner. Leaning down, he finally smelt his shoe. "Aw, fucking nasty," he said as he reeled his head back and hit them into one of the switches with a faint zzz echoing sound behind him. "Ah, crap," he rubbed his dome. He turned back, seeing the box by the door was now lit a dull green, and something akin to a gear began to grind. The door rose, but real stupidly slow, like the automatic doors at the supermarket, when you're just trying to get through before everyone and their mother comes barreling in, like, just open faster, what the fuck?
You got the fury. You got the
Greg's
fury.
going through some stuff.
It is. Gotta vent it.
Yeah.
Marcus ducked under and peered inside, intrepidly. The room was faintly lit by hues of warm orange and yellow from the ceiling, and just like that, the concierge area was covered in a thick layer of dust. But here, there was a warmth, something inviting. High-top tables were strewn about, each one with papers and metal instruments all scattered on them. And cords. And more cords. And even more cords. They snaked down the backs of the tables and hulked together in large bundles on the floor, laying in masses the size of speed bumps. He'd never seen anything like that before. It looked strangely primitive, yet simultaneously intimidating. Kind of like the deck of the Nebuchadnezzar from The Matrix. If that reference is too old for you, then you're too young for this podcast. Unless you're a patron, then you can say whatever the hell you want. Marcus wearily slipped into the room and began inspecting. Something about it was calming his nerves. The room seemed to expand incessantly. He waded through the wires until he finally saw a teal glow come from the corner of the room. It was a computer? Familiar shape, rectangular in size, but weirdly oblong and imperfect in design. And a screen that was no bigger than the size of his hand. It definitely looked old to him. How long was it here? As his eyes narrowed in on the screen and saw a gray window opened affixed to the center, he saw a spinning sphere covered in horizontal and vertical lines that spun perpetually, while 2 rings encircled it, moving in tandem with one another. Bold text and garish bordering made this look like it was something out of the 90s. In the center was a blinking cursor with the text, "Enter Y/N" within it.
Press Y. Press Y.
Marcus scoped it out. Everything looked like it was working. His finger reached hesitantly towards the computer until he heard a shift from the gate. "Oh, crap." He scratched his head. He pushed the screen down, collapsing the device, and folded it up in one fell swoop, throwing it into his backpack and running towards the door. The gate once again shuddered as he sprinted. Holding his breath, Marcus slid under with a sick baseball slide like he was going for home plate.
Fuck yeah.
"Yes!" Marcus exclaimed triumphantly. He looked back, but the gate hadn't even moved. Oh, well, never mind. Kablam! The gate immediately crashed down with a force that shook the room. Marcus pushed himself to his feet, retreating entirely, headed down the hill and back towards home. A small clock hung above Marcus's door, bathed in the iridescent glow of the moonlight, ticking away faster and faster towards midnight. He sat up in his bed, tossing a rubber ball back and forth, occasionally looking at his desk, the spinning sphere glaring back at him like daggers every time. I mean, it's just some old thing, but what if it is somebody's, or they find out I took it? He trailed off. I mean, I got some old discs of Dad's games, he said, bouncing off of the bed.
Yeah, play Leisure Suit Larry.
Play Doom, let's go! His hands moving without agency of his mind, he watched as he went on to press the Y key.
Yes.
This thing Is running on limited battery then, I guess, huh? He tried to convince himself as his finger found the enter button. Just check it out. Just tonight, he said as he pressed down. Immediately, bright flashes of incandescent yellow shot out from the screen. What? Marcus shouted as his room lit up in a brilliant flash. Oh, no, 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 he gasped. Arcs of pure golden electricity bounced wildly around his room. Curtains, papers, and sheets whipped around violently. He tried to run, but he could not move. It was a feeling as though he was being held, restrained, like something wrapped around him, constricting and pulling him in. And off the floor? He tried to yell for help, he tried to yell flippantly for help as a hum, louder than your mama's scream from the bathroom of Buffalo Wild Wings on 10-cent wing night as I fill her up with my 10-cent wing, bombed into the air. What? Who wrote that? Who wrote this shit? Dad? It was like a dissonant choir of 100 CRT TVs with busted transformers. It pierced his ears as he gritted his teeth. This was not right. This couldn't be right. I have to be dreaming, he thought. I must have fell asleep. Dad, Mom, anybody? But no words left his lips. He squinted, afraid, as a brilliant white light filled his purview, enrapturing everything. He no longer felt restrained, but free. And falling? At an incredible speed and pace, blocks of green and blue whizzed by him on either side like cars on a highway.
He got catch
stretching.
I've been thinking that Greg rewrote Freakazoid this whole time.
Hell yes. Didn't even think about that. That's great. Like cars on a highway, stretching in length to impossible standards. It was cartoonish. He too felt his own body being pulled both ahead and behind him, his red chucks seemingly miles away. If it wasn't for the convincing rush of wind hitting his face, he would have tried to submit and think he was lucid dreaming. Sensation rocked him back to consciousness. His world pixelated, his mind abated, everything blurred, all was black. Kid, you all right? Another flash of light, except this one stayed. Marcus impulsively put his hand to his forehead, palm blocking the searing light from his eyes. Slowly, they began to settle, and a large shape came into focus before him, revealing a giant fucking pickle? Marcus reared back, arm outstretched at once, still heavily disoriented. Kid! Shouted a hulking 7-foot-tall, shiny green anthropomorphic pickle. They said that shooting was your specialty. Have you never seen a target range before? Marcus gulped, taking in his surroundings. Low brick walls lined the perimeter of a dirt lot leading down to 4 giant circular metal discs. God damn it, Frito, I knew it. I fucking knew it. They stick me with this runt 'cause why? I'll tell you why. They think I'm a has-been. A wash-up. They ain't got shit on me. They don't know what these green arms can do. I'll tell you what. Marcus looked down. Around his shoulders wrapped a blue shawl. He wore a brown vest, slim dark pants, and boots with spurs. His hand reached toward his side, feeling a wooden, polished grip. He pulled, unveiling a glistening metal revolver. Holy shit, kid, that's pretty damn cool, interjected the garish pickle. Everything wrong with this moment started to fade away as a smirk cut across Marcus's lips. He squinted down the sights of the gun, aimed at the targets downrange, and fired. 6 shots rang out, breaking the tension and emitting the scent of gun smoke into the air. Well, I'll be damned, said the pickle in astonishment. Everyone hit, dead center, kid. All right, you're in. He grabbed Marcus's hand and began to shake, a large red glove nearly engulfing it whole. Wait, what? In what? I mean, what? Wait, who are you again? Marcus asked reluctantly. Come on, kid. They didn't tell you what you signed up for? You don't recognize the Green Avenger in the flesh, or skin, I should say?
The Green Avenger?
Marcus looked closer now. A wrinkly, deep green vegetable with with disgustingly skinny arms and legs poking out of its sides,
Never coming
stood
back.
towering over him.
The story fell apart for Rich at that very moment.
Yeah, I'm checked
was.
out. Checked out, Greg. Sorry.
And just like that, I got Rich to leave the podcast.
Welcome our
Stepping
new
in on
host,
the turf.
Greg.
Fucking the three of you will be leaving. Let alone.
Oh no.
I'll do it on my own.
Come look for me in the chimney. He wore a spandex sage-colored suit with a mask pulled just over his head about where his nose should be. The eye holes were a solid white color. His stomach bulged slightly, and a faint vegetable silhouette declared in the center of his chest. He had on tights and matching red boots to his gloves. This guy looked straight ripped out of the worst comic Marcus could ever imagine. And he was a superhero? Wherever there's injustice, wherever there's evil, blah, blah. He cut himself off, pulling out a cigarette and lighting it. I can't blame you, though, kid. I get it. Heroes get old. They forget about us. But I'm here to show them all them fucking bastards, that real heroes never die. He took a long puff of the cigarette. Ah, damn, that's good. There ain't many of us left, kid.
This rules.
The picking's gone slim. So it's about time we got slim with our picking. You feel me? He peered down to Marcus. No. Listen, kid, you got moxie. You signed up on the right crew. Old GA got a plan. And now with Deadeye on the crew, he chuckled. We'll be plenty fine. Marcus's face lit up once again. His own nickname, too? Wait. Hold on. I was at home, and then the computer, and I gotta be hallucinating or dreaming. I mean, you're a pickle. Hey, watch it, kid. I'm still sensitive about that, all right? What? This is what?
Why would he be sensitive about it?
No. Marcus bent down to try to slap the sides of his face. Come on, wake up, he pleaded to himself. Listen, kid, I don't know what they do in Podunk, but this is Megalopolis we're talking about. Home of the Heroes Guild. Yours truly, the Mega Arby's. Now equipped with ass vacuuming services for that insta-clean. As he turned to the camera and winked. Ding! And currently, one of the baddest villains we've had in a long time. The Sonic Shriek. I mean, this bitch is bad, he said as he exhaled a plume of smoke once more from between his crusted lips, mouth. I don't know, he's a goddamn pickle. And he bent down to extinguish the butt of his cigarette onto his heel. She's got a scream that can collapse buildings, and a piercing pitch that's made people's heads explode. Heads explode. You ever seen a head blow up, kid? Like in Scanners? I don't know what that is. No, go back. Wait, hold on. You know where I'm from? All in your file, kid. You don't apply to the Heroes Guild without a full background check. All the good stuff. You must have impressed Benny something good to get a front row invitation with me, though. I haven't done sidekicks since, well, not since Chirpy. He placed his hand over his heart and sniffed. God rest his little soul. Hold on. Let me get this straight, started Marcus. You're back from out of retirement, and you're a crime-fighting pickle. Cucumber, but yes. Trying to stop a lady from destroying your city with screams? Yes. And we're the last line of defense. Pretty much. Okay, so I'm either dead or dreaming, or maybe I fell asleep playing a weird game at that computer? Marcus slapped the side of his hip. Yeah, okay, that's it, he exclaimed excitedly. Kid, whatever makes you happy. But we're at the end of our rope here, and think about it. We'll be famous, resting on our laurels, household names again. All the good stuff. The pickle sighed. All right, Marcus tipped his hat forward. I'll do it, but what do I call you? The defender of all that is good. The bite in the night. The vinegar full of vengeance. Totally real giant grainy. I'm not saying any of those, Marcus said plainly. All right, GA is fine. Okay, then now what, GA? To the Hall of Heroes! The screen spun in on itself as a musical diddly played, but nothing happened. Okay. How? Asked Marcus. What do you mean? Like, can you fly to something to get us out of here? Oh, hell no. Okay, then do you have like a pickle-shaped ship or something?
Kid, you're really working on my last nerve here about this pickle business. You better cut it the fuck out.
So,
I shoot juice.
what?
I shoot juice out.
The two stood in silence for a few seconds.
And I'm strong.
I guess we should start.
Yeah, let's get going.
GA's voice trailed off as the pair walked off camera.
I fucking love this guy.
This is my favorite character from this podcast now.
There she is.
GA pointed. An enormous, sprawling expanse of buildings the size of mountains loomed over them. Or like mountains on top of mountains. I don't know, I'm not a fucking architect. Marcus's jaw hung slack at the sheer precedence of it all.
No, not that one.
GA moved Marcus's head over slightly.
That one.
The building was of pure, exquisite, prestigious design, nearly 300 stories tall. Archways of silver and gold and an emblem of a circular world spherical shape with something like 2 rings around it hung on the archway at the doors.
Ooh.
Thanks, Ellen.
GA called out to the driver.
Anytime, Toots.
She winked back at him.
I hit that years ago. Hit it and quit it. It's what I say, little man. Always, when it comes to work.
Unbothered, Marcus walked up to the front of the enormous, elaborate fountain as a mist from the water was spitting into the air. A furry cat-like bellhop ushered them both into the building, showing them to an elevator. Man, this is wild, Marcus declared, walking into the lobby that could be mistaken for an airplane hangar.
This is just the bottom,
Replied GA, putting on a pair of sunglasses.
What's happening, Tallulah?
He snapped his fingers at one employee.
Derek,
He said matter-of-factly. Whoa, what happened with Derek? Marcus inquired.
what didn't happen with Derek?
Replied GA. My friend! An elevator opened up ahead, revealing an old man with deep bronze skin, a gray mustache, and thinning hair. His arms were outstretched, welcoming them.
I see you and the boy have come to an understanding,
He said.
The kid's got what it takes, I think. He's one of the good ones. Better than the last 6.
A flashback of very ill-prepared and poorly costumed superheroes getting their heads gruesomely exploded like grapes played in the old man's mind.
Welcome, Marcus.
He said in a soft tone.
Or do you prefer Deadeye?
He grinned, eyes closed. Either is fine, Marcus said, trying to assume a more mature tone.
Benediction, at your service. Come. I want to debrief you both on what we found. No, I'll call you.
GA beamed back to another bellhop, flicking more finger guns as he stepped into an elevator with the other 2.
Something promising, I hope, old friend.
GA said as the 3 faced forward, doors closing. How many floors are on this thing? Asked Marcus innocuously. Oh, laughed Benny.
1.
Marcus's eyes turned to the control panel, which showed the numbers 1 and 300. So it's just
1.
Interjected Benny. The sliding doors pulled apart to reveal huge golden statues and swaths of blue light painting the walls all around them. Staff milled about on either ends with screens bigger than most houses affixed ahead. Who are these supposed to be? Asked Marcus, pointing to the statues.
Well, this is the Cabbage Crusader, and this here, that's Hemorrhoid Harry, and this...
God, these fucking suck, thought Marcus.
This is our founder, Captain Atomic.
All right, that one's okay, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
His legacy lives on through all, especially our Green Avenger.
GA kneeled down, arm outstretched, the other curled behind him, flexing like some Mr. America-ass pose.
Whose statue is under construction. Forever indebted to this city to serve.
Bowed GA as he lit a cigarette. Benny snatched it out of his mouth instantly.
Alberto,
Called out Benny in a patronizing tone. Marcus chuckled to himself as GA punched him in the arm. Marcus rubbed at the spot with annoyance as they both continued to follow Benny.
This is the Sonic Shriek,
Benny declared as he stopped in front of one of the large monitors littered with scan lines.
Her power comes from within her insane larynx, utilizing an ultra-rare manipulation of sound waves in the negative space around her. She was once an insurance broker who became so frustrated at her quarterly review, she let out a yell in pure anguish and frustration, causing her boss and the shareholders of the company to explode in a most expeditious way.
Sounds
It
like
took
she's
them
not
nearly-
a villain.
Yeah, this is the hero?
Yeah.
It took them nearly a month to get all the viscera out of the conference room. I can't tell you in between the cracks of the door. Ugh. I mean, here at the Heroes Guild, we don't have a problem with dismantling bloated capitalism, but she is killing indiscriminately people who were just like her. Not to mention the time she stubbed her toe and yelled so loud she killed a bus full of babies and nuns. Or was it nun babies? I can't remember. What we do know is that she needs a special salve to keep this up. The toll her rampage has taken on her throat is evident. Kinda like the toll I left on your daddy's throat last night.
Wait, what was that? Asked Marcus.
Nothing.
Replied Benny. He continued.
Without the salve, the power will become greatly less effective and perhaps even null altogether. We need you to lure her out, eliminate the salve, and if you can, save her.
Benny turned to Marcus.
They may not know you, but I think I know good when I see it. Help us. Marcus, please. We need you. They need you.
He walked over to the top balcony overlooking the bustling city. Marcus could see people going on about their day, greeting each other, having lunch, walking their pets. Kids playing, chasing one another.
Nun babies
Nun babies walking the streets.
walking their dogs.
I'll do what I can, he said matter-of-factly.
This old pickle's got some fight left in him.
G.A. said with his feet up on a desk. Just then, a low hum filled their ears. Marcus stepped back as G.A. sat up slowly. The glass began to crack in a hairline pattern in front of them.
Get down!
Shouted G.A. as he pressed for the floor and pushed Marcus with him. Glass exploded, flying back in a wave as a wave of pain shot into Marcus's head like a hellish migraine even from this distance. He cupped his hands over his ears.
Benny!
G.A. stood and picked up a collapsed Benny who was cut profusely from the glass.
I'm okay.
He reassured. G.A. walked over to a console, hitting a button.
This'll protect the building from anything else, for now. But we gotta go, kid.
Marcus nodded and stood up to one foot, shaking away any discomfort.
We can get a better vantage outside.
They took an exit to the south that led to the top of an adjacent building. The sky was clear and brilliant blue. Marcus felt the rush of energy all around him. He liked this. He whirled with purpose.
It's reconnaissance, kid, get down!
Whispered G.A. frustratedly. The two hung behind a large HVAC duct.
Listen, kid, I'm getting pretty old for this shit. I ain't got no family. I ain't got no awards. Nothing. I gave my life for this city. I seen it all. We get that chance. I'm moving in. You take the shot. I'll give the signal. You know it. Just trust me.
Marcus didn't reply but tried to focus to his senses.
Say it, kid. I need to hear you say it.
Oh, okay, muttered Marcus. He still couldn't entirely believe he was saying this to a giant fucking pickle. Or cucumber, whatever. But something about it all made him know he could trust this outlandish vegetable man. Something in him knew he cared. Across the street, concrete blasted out with a force that rocked the foundation of where they stood. Huge slabs of rock busted apart, causing building fires, structural collapse, and the cries of people scrambling for help. From below, they spotted her. In a light blue leotard with a cropped cut, dark hair teased out, flinging to one side, and leather goggles, stood the Sonic Shriek,
Yup.
reveling in the destruction. The sign on the rubble of the building read Megazon Corp. The two heroes looked at each other with faces that said, I mean... No, thought Marcus. There were people in there who deserved to get out, even if this world's equivalent Jeff Bezos deserved to die.
Kid, listen. Do you think you could shoot that pipe down?
G.A. said as he pointed over to a rung that connected from across the street. I can try, Marcus attested, pulling his revolver from its holster. Don't fail me now, he whispered as he took aim. One shot rang out. Nothing.
Breathe, kid. Think of something nice back home. You got any games back there? Sega Game Gear? Beetleborgs? Just shut the fuck up, said Marcus instinctively. Now this is the kid I like. With a single breath, Marcus pulled the trigger once more, ricocheting off the pipe precisely and dropping it down the length of the building. All right, we get a good look on where that salve is, and we end this. They could see the light blue figure peering up at them, attempting to climb from the destructed rail. Shit, G.A. yelled. Marcus looked around frantically. I could get the shot, he offered. No, G.A. stated plainly. He pulled his gloves tighter around his hand and affixed his belt higher onto his gut. The Green Avengers got this. This ain't your battle. It's up to us to eat the rich. He petered out as he gripped onto the steel, nearly 100-foot-long pole. I ain't even gonna bring your mama into this one.
No need.
As he gripped it into a vice-like grip, swinging it from one side to side. The sonic shriek fell, but grasped onto the length of the pole, winding her body as tightly as she could around it. With enough momentum, G.A. flung the pipe across the street nearly 10 buildings back. All right, he huffed out of breath. Let's get off this shithole and make a plan, 'cause that fucked me up. Marcus's eyes darted for a way back as he hopped over to help G.A. to his feet. They began heading to the exit when Marcus heard it first. Screams in the distance. They walked over to the edge of the rooftop in astonishment. There she was, Sonic Shriek, using her sound barrier breaking cry to propel herself across buildings and platforms, coming directly at them. As they hobbled back to the stairs, the door was shut and locked. You didn't know it locked behind you? Said Marcus. Kid, I don't know a lot of things. Well. Standing one building over was their enemy, the Sheik, clad in blue and white and looking a slight bit worse for wear. I knew it was just a matter of time till this fruit came out of his hiding. Vegetable, interjected Marcus.
No.
Cucumber is a fruit. No, it's a vegetable. Well, not according to my friend Rich Masters. Who's that? Shut up! Yelled the Sheik, shaking the building and knocking a few bricks loose. Or do you just want to die now? You don't have to do it like this, G.A. spoke up. You can just kill all the execs. We really don't give a fuck. Seriously, like, fuck them. But you can't commit mass murder just to get to them. That's just lazy. Oh, how ironic it is to hear about lazy from the fucking pickle, retorted the Shriek. You were our hero. You were supposed to keep us alive from shit like this happening in our world. What happened to that, huh? Guess you chose the easy route. I admit, began G.A., I did walk away. I was embarrassed to feel like a coward, to be the only one. But I know that now. I know that I gave up on everyone because I gave up on myself. Boo-hoo. And so I'm doing something about it. That's why I'm here. I watch day in and day out people be fed to the fucking soul-eating machine, micromanaged, toyed with, exploited, only to cut themselves short. So I will take whatever means are necessary to stop it, the Shriek began. Marcus's eyes took note that there was a satchel on her right hip that had something of a pink luminescent color to it. It's the salve. It has to be the salve, he thought. Josh is in it. Josh is Deadeye? Confirmed?
I only have one eye.
But in this moment, he felt a strange empathy for both people. To be alone and to be made to feel alone. You didn't choose that life, Marcus spoke up to the Shriek. You were put there by them, and that fucking sucks. But that's what makes you different. He paused. Because you know that now. You are their eyes. You can be their voice. Don't rob them of their own. The Sheik stood aloof, staring down at the space between the buildings for a moment. Just then, in an instant, A green acidic juice gushed out of GA's head directly into the Shriek's eyes. "Ah, you fox!" she screamed, rocking the foundation again, but her voice sounded much more hoarse. Kind of like mine after reading this story this long.
Yep.
"Good fucking job, kid! Now the salve!" Marcus gripped his pistol and aimed it directly toward her hip, closing his one eye. He saw himself, his family, his new friend. "Deadeye always makes his mark," he said. A shot tore through the pouch, expelling its contents into a puddle seeping into the brick beneath her feet. "Ah, you assholes!" she hoarsely exclaimed once more, flailing around in anguish while still rubbing at her eyes. Just then, a huge dump truck pulled into the alley below. "So, where's you need this horse manures then, boss? Come on, you stupid sons of bitches, knots in the damn alleys, now loads it back up." The Sheik, still flailing and losing her balance, finally toppled from the building and landed perfectly into the cart of manure.
Biff.
Like Biff from Back to the Future.
I knew it.
Another day's work, another day's covered in shits, said one of the workers. "Oh, and watch your step," Marcus joked. "Kid," shouted GA, "that was some good shit. You did a good job, kid, you did." Before GA could finish, time stood still, frozen. Marcus could see everything around him clearly, crisply. He took one last look at the splendor of the city, the people, the imagination, the heart of it all. And just like that, his body began to pixelate, change, and fade. Marcus shot up in a sweat from his bed, his room illuminated by the afternoon sun. "Marcus," a voice called, "come get breakfast before it's too late. It's almost lunch." He pursed his hands around himself quickly, noting his corporeal shape. He stood and peered into the mirror, his dirty blonde hair scraggly and ruffled, just as it was the night before. As he turned, sitting, the laptop sat opened. The same screen as before. Enter, $Y/N, spinning effortlessly. And beside the logo, a pistol and a pickle? No, not a pickle. Definitely a cucumber.
Yeah.
The end.
That was great.
That was great.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
Nice work, bud.
That was so
Thanks,
good.
guys.
That fucking ruled.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
poof, man, that was. Ooh.
The
I haven't written a story or something. It's been a while.
the Green Avenger is my new favorite Storylords character. And I mean that.
No, he fucking
Just a washed up pickle.
so funny, dude.
Yeah, it's
so
really good.
I just was like, I had written down. So for the for like what I was thinking, I was like, oh god, like you guys have so much stuff covered, and then I just started like trying to think of genres, and I was like, what if I do like a fucking isekai type shit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So my descriptors here for my story were isekai/quantum leap/.hack. The fucking weirdest shit
That's
ever.
so awesome.
That's great. That's so cool.
I was immediately
Thank you.
thinking of Freakazoid. I don't know why.
Man, that is a great one too. I do love that. Freakazoid rules.
They
You
were
were
very-
officially a story lord, Greg.
We knight you, Sir Bardley of Storytelling.
What I appreciated was that the characters were very, very quickly established and really adopted well into the story.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah,
man.
they were instantly. You knew who they were. Which
Yeah,
is
exactly.
great. That's great.
That's not easy to do either.
No.
But that is the key, right? That's the key to doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why, like, sometimes we write stuff and we're like, this is shit. We're rewriting this.
There was a moment where I couldn't hear if anybody else laughed because I fucking guffawed so loudly. Where you said in one voice, "Holy," and then in
Yes.
the Green Avenger voice,
Yeah.
"Shit," and I fucking lost.
Yo, your voices were great. They were really good.
They were excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you. I had to put on that speaking voice. The last time I probably like read a story aloud was probably when I was teaching, so it's been a while. But
We have a
it was
teacher
fun. It's
on our
fun.
show?
You should teach this.
No, ex teacher, no way.
You should-
Listen, if I could teach this shit to fucking kids, let's go.
Do it.
A big fucking pickle, like
He was a
Finding friends?
cucumber.
there's some good morals in here.
Yeah.
to take.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck capitalism, ACAB.
Yep, a cab. I'm gonna fuck
Trick
them
your
all.
enemy into trusting you for a second.
Yeah,
and shoot
use
them.
trust against
Yeah,
your enemy.
know.
That's what you got to do.
I was like, am I gonna really have him shoot fucking pickle juice in her eye? And I was like,
Yeah,
yup.
absolutely.
That's exactly what he would do.
You couldn't have done it any other way.
Probably smelled all like smoky, like cigarettes and pickles. Oh,
Oh God.
Like he was in the back of a ¡99 Corolla
Yeah.
all day, just lighting off,
yeah.
just pack after pack, chain
It's like
smoking
in
that
there. It's like
shit.
in the fabric of his being.
And no amount of cleaning could fix that.
Coffee on his breath, just good times.
Well, I think the guest format works. Well done, Greg. You've saved it for
Well
everyone.
done, Greg.
Thank you.
Sounded like there was a question mark in there. It's confusing me.
No,
I always
no.
sound like I'm vaguely questioning. I'm moving straight on from that comment.
We all just got like really hopeful. We were like, he's up for anything.
Let's take a break and we'll be back for part 3. Welcome back, my lovely, dearest darlings. And well, I was mean before, so you got to edge people, right?
This is like my childhood right
sweet
here.
and
You're really
sour.
confusing me.
We're back for part 3, and we're going to take it nice and calmly, and we're going to go to Spooky Vision.
Ooh, I just pooped pants, Rich. I just pooped pants. Fuck.
Straight to Browntown.
No.
I was going to do it in my Hitler voice, and then I decided I can't do that.
No, oh my God, no. Too scary.
Yes. Your Hitler voice, in quotes, being your actual real voice.
What are you talking about?
Rich is Hitler confirmed? I'm starting the subreddit. Let's go.
Richler?
Richler Master Race. There all the time.
That's my new character in Dragon's Dawn.
Maybe cut that out of the podcast.
I'm leaving it.
Fuck.
The name of my story is The Candle Cousins.
Yes.
In the 13 Ghosts of, and then I have marked out Scooby-Doo, and instead wrote Redmayne Manor. The Redmayne Manor had been tucked between two high-rise buildings in lower Manhattan for going on 100 years at this point. Its strange, esoteric Gothic architecture beckoning for the twisted and mentally disturbed, while terrifying the dementia-ridden elderly and the local homeowners association, which are, as we all know, the exact same thing.
Yeah, yep.
It is said that in the not-too-distant past, the manor had played host to witches, demented secret societies, and occult rituals the likes of which mere mortals could never comprehend without going mad at the mere thought. Nowadays, it costs $22.95 plus tax for a walking tour, and they sell little witch riding a broomstick bobblehead figures in the gift shops for $15 a pop.
Boo,
Inflation.
capitalism.
What the fuck?
Do I need one?
Do I need it?
Yes.
Is it a Lego set?
You
A
did.
need is a responsibility. The walking tour was slated to last about 2 hours from basement to rooftop and back, but Peggy Rickenbacker and Christiana Blackheart Malaria Bloodwraith,
What the fuck?
a duo of amateur paranormal sleuths collectively known as the Candle Cousins, were on the third straight hour of their droning teenage guide trying to both get through his dry-ass boring script describing the manor's beautiful brass door handles and try not to kill himself. So tensions had finally risen too high to ignore.
We've all been there.
"This sucks my hairy, bloated dick," Chris finally screamed out, causing the septuagenarian walking tour to all turn and gasp in horror and disgust at the foul-mouthed outburst from a teenage girl.
Have any of these fuckers
Just pop out the walls.
"Oh my, she didn't mean to take the whale's name in vain. She's sorry." Peggy leapt to clap her hand over Chris's mouth and began to drag her away from the assembled group of gawking, angry boomers, locked and loaded to leave a Yelp review heavily citing this moment as the downfall of American society.
That's it.
Or maybe Yelp wasn't a thing yet, and they'd leave a review on Friendster or something. I don't fucking remember.
Phones burning in their pockets, waiting to do so.
The two cousins stepped over to a dimly lit corner of the third floor of the manor, underneath a gigantic portrait of some nasty old geezer that looked like he was the product of several thousand years of inbreeding and bad dentistry. I'm not gonna make the joke, but you know where this dude was from. "What are you doing?" Peggy hissed out moistly from her gritted, braced-up teeth, her hand recoiling from Chris's mouth and her lip upcurling into a straight-up baby-faced pout, the strongest of what she called her quote-unquote dark emotions. Chris immediately turned back to the tour group as they shuffled away down the hall to gawk in merriment and shock at some old shitty chandelier that cost her dad's entire year's salary and would make Liberace blush at its bedazzled excess. "I meant it,
Had a
you
boy
old
in it?
dusty, sexless geezers. Just die already."
Yes.
Peggy just continued to stare, stone-faced. "What? They should totally die soon. It would be good for everybody," Chris responded nonchalantly. "I know you were getting sick of this dumb tour too, Peggy. We came here to see if there were, like, any real ghosts in this 10-cent tourist trap, and we've been walking around talking about furniture with a dude who has never and will never see an unscrambled boob in his life. It's hardcore lame." Peggy sighed, shoving her hands into the pockets of her flower print overalls and looking around idly. "You're right. The candle hasn't so much as even flickered since we showed up. I was so sure we were going to get tons of ghosts we could help find their peace here, just like Grandma wanted us to, before she passed away." "You always make it sound so weak. Grandma died on a stolen motorcycle, popping a full wheelie down Main Street during Mardi Gras to escape police custody.
Fuck
She was such a badass, I'd definitely take after her," Chris said with a practiced fake smirk, recounting the official death of their grandma in case I ever wrote that she died a different way before. "Put that shit on the wiki and then I'll keep it canon, fuckers."
Thank you.
Jeez.
Malanite.
She died in her sleep surrounded by her family and friends of old age disease, Peggy shot back, scandalized at her cousin's blatant lie. You and I weren't there because we both had pink eye, and they didn't want Grandma to catch it. She was dying, you dumb baby. Why would they care if she caught pink eye or not? Chris fired back in return, shaking her head to swivel her dangling dyed black bangs out of the way. She just didn't want to give Jesus pink eye in heaven, Peggy stuttered out. Holy crap, you cannot be, Chris managed to start before a set of hands clasped each of them cousins on the shoulder and silenced them immediately. They turned their gaze up toward their new captor together, seeing a tall, thin gentleman with a pencil-thin mustache and hair so violently waxed backwards on his skull that it almost looked painted on, staring back down at them through his nose. The ladies would be best to be quiet and end their quarrel to return to the walking tour. There can be no stragglers here. The dapper gentleman honked through his nasal passages at them. I would escort you back to your peers myself, but the man drew his hands away from them and dipped into his coat pocket, returning with a small clear bottle of hand sanitizer. This dude just globbed an entire flubber's worth of this shit right into his palms.
Flubber's worth.
It started working it around his whole hands. When he stopped, it was like he basically made a liquid set of gloves for himself, but he seemed satisfied with it anyway. He snorted out his last sentence. I would not wish to become infected with whatever poor person's stink disease the two of you carriers have brought into my home. Please see yourselves ahead. And with that, he turned and marched away, nose in the air. Who the fuck was that? And why didn't I zing him with a violently dark comeback like I always do? Chris said with a distant disbelief in her voice. And what could he possibly even be added to the story for? Like, why would the author write him in just to have him leave without even saying his name or explaining himself at all? Peggy responded, shaking her head. It's like this guy writes these stories the night before the show or something. Wait, what? Chris turned to face Peggy. I said we should just go home. I can't stand another hour of this old house with Backney Ben, teenage tour guide, Peggy said sadly.
Wow.
Chris chuckled. Wow, I'm really rubbing off on you. You're almost cool now. I am? Wow, we're like twins again! Peggy latched onto Chris with both arms, hugging her tightly and squeeing right into her goddamn ear like a con girl meeting a Z-grade actor from a show called something like Gorgon 13 or whatever. You know how they be.
Dunk.
Maybe you could let me tell people at school that we're related now. Ugh, don't touch me, you Phoebe. Chris jerked away, brushing herself off like a Slimer had just touched her. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. First you can earn letting the lunch ladies know we're related, then the janitorial staff, then teachers, and then maybe bus drivers if you stop wearing those stupid unicorns on everything. Not unless I'm at gunpoint, Peggy replied. The two girls walked to the stairs they had just come up and began to descend, giving up their goal of ghost rejuvenation and turning their sights towards loftier, more important life goals. Let's go back to my stupid ex-parents Ron and Cheryl's place and play Devil May Cry 2.
Bad choice.
That Dante is so hot, I'd let him do anything, even kiss with tongue. Chris said.
I'd let him climb into my inferno.
Wrong
Chris
Dante,
said, swooning after early 2000s pixelated heartthrob and demon slayer Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Check out those games at your local Blockbuster. Growth, Peggy said jovially, shoving Chris a little. Isn't that game demonic, though? My parents said that if you play a demonic video game, then you see Mario with hyper-realistic blood on your TV, and then you kill yourself for some reason.
Yeah, this is true.
Sure.
Damn.
Mario's a Nintendo game, dumbass. This is PlayStation, Chris retorted. Oh, okay, Peggy said sunnily. Is it a cooperative game? I don't like to play those violent versus games like Garfield Kart.
Garfield Kart.
This is like totally what kind of game this girl would play.
They always
Wait.
race on Mondays.
Wait, do you hear something? Chris stopped on her step, peering down into the dark space between hanging lights below them. A shadow seemed to move and flicker amongst them, and Chris had to squint to even make out the movement. What is that shit? Fucking spooky. The two girls watched as the shadows below them slowly coalesced. This not being their first fucked up spooky ass rodeo, they both took a step back up the stairs and readied themselves to run at a moment's notice. But the telltale sign of burning made it quite obvious what was about to happen. Peggy quickly slung the backpack she always wore off her shoulder and yanked out the green candle on its golden holder stand. The strange flickering emerald flame at the top of it already steadily burning, and even leaning towards the shadows below. I knew there had to be spirits here in need of our help, Peggy cried out happily. Shut your steel trap. We don't even know if this one's gonna try and dismember us first or not. Get a clue, numbnuts, Chris whisper yelled from between her teeth. From within the swirling, inky black torrent of nothingness deep within the shadows came the unknowable horror from within. A small glowing white kitty cat with even brighter white glowing eyes. Which stretched and yawned a huge yawn before sitting in the middle of the landing and staring at the two girls, head tilted to the side.
If this cat is wearing a sombrero and has a moustache, Josh is going to jizz in his pants.
Too late, Rich.
Oh, it's a little ghost kitty, Peggy chirped with excitement. Damn, that's actually pretty sad when you think about it. Fucking sick, Chris whispered, mostly to herself. What do you mean? Why is it sad? Peggy looked over at Chris, completely unaware. Never mind. Chris pointed at the cat. Should we, pet it or something? The luminescent feline stood and turned in a small circle on the landing below them, then looked down the stairs for a moment, then back up at the cousins, blinking its large white light bulb eyes slowly. Oh, she wants us... wrong voice. Oh, she wants us to follow her, Chris said, a little too excitedly, then backtracked, returning to her true goth self. Or whatever. Why would I care?
Yep.
That's great. Maybe she can show us how to help her to the other side. Peggy hopped down the steps, causing the spectral cat to begin bounding down the steps ahead of them. That's a polite way of saying heaven to disgusting heathens. Chris took off afterwards, having trouble keeping up due to the massive clodhopper pleather boots she was wearing, straight from the midsection of Spencer's Gifts, right before it gets a little too PG even for her back there. They rounded 2 sets of stairs, passing the second floor entirely on their wild ghost chase, the cat easily staying ahead of them as it leapt from one step to the other with the grace only being a cat can afford you. Or like Peter Pan or something. Analogies are tough. Finally,
Right.
at the bottom of the staircase of the building, the cat took a sudden sharp bounding leap straight at the wall before the last turn, passing through it effortlessly and disappearing beyond its bounds. This didn't turn out so fortunate or so graceful for Peggy and Chris. Peggy couldn't stop herself and went flying from the top step straight into the wall, the old molded structure beginning to buckle inwards from her body bashing into it. But her 98 pounds soaking wet wasn't going to be enough, even after 100 years of wall decay. Unfortunately, Chris's added weight was exactly enough, as she couldn't stop herself either. The completely tractionless pleather soles of her boots squeaking loud as any SpongeBob walk cycle as she lost her footing on the same top stair and came tumbling head first into her cousin and the wall she rested halfway in. The plaster and wood splintered into confetti as the two of them crashed down through it and into the darkness beyond it.
That's a mold.
Rolling down some kind of metallic chute they couldn't make out, but they could definitely feel. The two of them bashed off the sides of the metal chute violently until they were fired out of it like a cannon into a darkened room somewhere deep below where they'd started out. The dust slowly settled around them, and the silence between them lasted much longer than either would have liked it to, but both of them were too busy checking to see if they were dead, or at the very least, if anything was broken. Chris? Peggy finally managed to whimper out, sitting up and crossing her legs under her. Are you okay? Fuck my shit, Chris groaned out, sitting up and swiping plaster and wood bits out of her fringe hastily. I think I ate every spider on the way down here. You should like that, right? That's what evil people like, I think. Peggy smiled weakly. You love evil. Shut the hell up, damn, was all Chris said in return. A small meow caught both of their attentions, though. In the middle of the dark room, only illuminated by the full moon outside the high basement windows and its own bright light, was the ghost cat from before, licking its paw, taking glances at them. Chris stood up, wobbly for a moment, but gaining her footing quickly, and began to tiptoe towards the spectral cat. For its part, the cat just watched her, tilting its head every now and then at her approach. Psst, 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 psst. Good kitty, I'm your friend. I fell through multiple stories of walls and floors to come see you. The least you could do is be my friend, too. Chris whispered out in her most cat-pleasing tone. And to Peggy's absolute shock, maybe even a little bit of shock on Chris's part, too, the cat actually allowed her to touch it. Her hands sunk into the ghostly creature for but a moment before she drew it back up to fur level, and it stayed there. The ghostly cat rubbed her head into Chris's hand for a moment before purring a soft, simple melody in return for the scritch. I didn't know you were so good with cats, Peggy said, astonished. Well, I guess they are like Satan's tool to trick humanity into sin, so that makes sense. But this one seems nice. I like cats, so sue me, Chris said, barely paying attention to her cousin as she continued to pet the ghost. But the cat had other plans to continue and pulled away suddenly, hopping off the table and doing a figure 8 through Chris's legs, rubbing against the sides of her boots as it did. The cat took one last look up at Chris, then back at Peggy, meowed one last little meow, and slowly began to walk across the room towards the other end, which was completely shrouded in darkness. By the time the cat had made it there, it too had disappeared completely into the shadows beyond. It's gone, Peggy called out. Chris sighed, shaking her head at the obviousness of this broad. We gotta find a way to follow it. No fucking doy, Chris spit out.
Nice.
Rooting around in her little pants pockets that all women's clothing seem to have for some reason instead of full-size pockets, and returning with a lighter.
If they have pockets at all.
Mm-hmm. She snapped it a few times, trying to get it to light the room. Peggy reached back into her backpack and produced the green candle once more, its flickering bright emerald light illuminating the room pretty brightly around them for such a small flame. She walked up beside Chris and handed her the candle, a small smirk across her freckled face. No freaking doy, huh? Chris snatched the candle and grimaced at her cousin in the light, but she still lifted it high into the air to search around the end of the room for a light switch. Eventually, she found an extremely old-timey button push switch and pressed it in, the rust on it causing it to take quite a bit of force to compress. Gas lights suddenly clicked on around the top of each wall, brightly illuminating the space the two of them had been fumbling around in the dark in this entire time.
This is safe.
The room wasn't just some bottom-of-the-building hole for idiots to fall into. No, it was something else entirely, straight out of a Hammer horror picture. The walls were lined with strange glass tubing, twitching and rising high into the air, strange stagnant liquid pooling in their bottoms, mechanical machinery with hundreds of switches filling every corner, and long marble slabs of operating tables lining the middle of the room. This was some kind of mad scientist laboratory they had stumbled into. Uh-oh! This is some kind of mad scientist laboratory we've stumbled into, Peggy screamed out. Uh-oh! Shut up! Chris yelled back, startling Peggy back to normal. Or as close to normal as a girl raised by nutjob evangelical parents could ever be.
True.
She paused, looking around at the laboratory they'd found themselves in. This place rules, actually. Also, there was like an old nasty cucumber and a bottle of liquid on the table in the middle of the room for some reason. Pretty fucked up. They just shoved that shit into the story so painfully badly. I mean, just left that there on the table for decades or more. Who knows? Anyway.
GA's backstory.
The two of them did notice where the spectral cat had disappeared to at the end of the room at this point, though. There was a mass of rubble and a caved-in sidewall at the end of the laboratory, with a gigantic pile of stone and wood reaching from the floor to the ceiling like the middle column had just given out on that wall. It must have gone through there, Peggy said sadly. I don't think we're going to be able to pratfall through this one comedically. No. Look! Chris ran across the room and hunkered down to the bottom of the crashed pile, pointing out that an archway had stayed intact, even sunken into the floor below, and there was plenty of space for two small teens to crawl through. Teen power, TM!
Heyo.
Shared it.
Maybe there'll be more spiders for you to eat, Peggy said happily, kneeling down to crawl through the hole. Chris glowered in return. The two of them slowly crawled into the darkness ahead of them, Peggy holding the candle out in front of her to illuminate the way. It felt like a long crawl, and the width and height of the tunnel began to squeeze in on them as they went. Chris would never say this out loud, but as the fear of the enclosed tunnel crushing them washed over her, and almost made her knees buckle out from under her, she really admired Peggy's unshaken bravery in that moment. Peggy was mostly thinking about how this was a lot like how she remembered being born. Therapy bills were going to be crazy for this chick down the road.
Damn.
Still, they managed to crawl from the other end of the tunnel, and the flickering light of their candles suddenly seemed pretty superfluous where they found themselves. The new room was small, and a lot of it was made up of fallen rubble at this point, 3 out of 4 walls having buckled inwards due to the outside pressures of the earth around it. But some of it was still intact. Several tables, a few large shelving units scattered here and there, and with cans on them still to this day, and a small seat in the corner. But sitting on top of every surface, table, chair, shelf, stone pile, you named it, was a small, glowing white cat with its brightly lit white eyes staring down at them.
This is the best story you've ever written.
13 small, bright white specters watched their every move carefully as the two girls slowly raised back up to their feet. Suddenly, it's not so cute, Chris muttered, dusting herself off, and way, way more sad. Wow, there's so many of them. Wait, what's so sad about this? Dang it, Peggy demanded.
Yeah.
Chris was thankful when the cat started meowing one after another, a slow chorus of singing in the round the same tune from each of them. They all had an urgency to their voices that sent a shiver down the girls' spines, the two of them frantically looking around the room at all of them. Wait, there! Peggy pointed down to the ground. Directly in front of them, in the middle of the room, crushed under the weight of one of the collapsing walls, was a human skeleton. Its long,
late,
thin,
Cats.
desiccated arm... Huh?
It's too late, Cats. He's already done.
They're hungry. They don't care.
Its long, thin, desiccated arm reaching out across the floor from its final resting place. The two girls' eyes followed the outstretched, reaching arm towards its unfulfilled destination. Just out of the bleached white finger's reach was a small, flat, round tin with an extremely faded label on it, which read, Fableman's Tuna. It's the fishiest feast in the 7 seas. With a small, winking cartoon tuna fish wearing a bowler derby and smoking a cigar barely visible beside it.
Hell yeah.
That's tunas for you.
The cats all began to yowl and yell, leaping down off their perches and beginning to circle the room randomly, rubbing up against one another, passing through one another, you name it. They're just hungry? Chris muttered under the cacophony of reverberating hollow cat voices that filled the room. That's it? That's the entire story? What the fuck? The cats yowled twice as loud at the mention of the word hungry, apparently having a lot of experience with it. Chris leaned down next to the tuna can on the floor and scratched at the back of her head. I don't have a goddamn can opener. What the hell are we going to do to shut this racket the hell up? Peggy dug around inside of her backpack and returned with a small red Swiss Army knife. Mm-hmm. She smiled as she flipped it open, revealing a can opener end with a small crank for turning the metallic saw wheel. And that's just what she did, stabbing it into the tin and turning it around and around, all the way around its lid. You're pathological, Chris muttered, shaking her head. It's painful being related to you.
That's what she uses for her braces.
Tighten them bitches up.
Come and get it, Peggy called out, as always, completely oblivious to her cousin's open contempt for everything she stood for. She withdrew the severed lid from the tin and tossed it aside. The instant the lid hit the floor, all of the cats leapt into the air, spiraling around the room and creating a tornado of bright white swirling light. Peggy and Chris stood back to their feet and huddled closer together for what little protection they could provide each other. Ooh, you fucked up, Chris called out with glee. Nuh-uh, Peggy yelled back over the loud crackling energy of the spiritual torrent in the middle of the room. The swirling mass of light began to coalesce around the skeletal body beneath the rubble, and slowly but surely, from within the bones came white light of its own, swirling within the tunnel of light until it reached its very apex, forming into a human figure at its core. The cats began to appear from the end of the tunnel, running deeper into it to meet the human figure at its center, jumping up onto its shoulders and convening around its legs, rubbing against it happily. The figure was suddenly noticeably female, and began to pet and press her barely visible face against their little faces in return. The woman in the light, blindingly bright and unseen within, turned to face the Candle Cousins, and smiled serenely. She lifted her hand up to reveal she was holding the tuna can within it now, and all of the cats meowed a bright, excited, purr-tinged meow, as the light quickly faded into darkness again. This left Peggy and Chris standing in near complete blackness, the flickering green of their candle dimming and then extinguishing itself with a small puff of smoke. Chris flicked open her metal lighter and snapped it 3 times before it burned to life, barely illuminating the two girls enough to see each other. Wow, they wanted to be with that woman that they loved in the afterlife, and we freed them from their prison here on Earth to do that, Peggy said excitedly. Pretty sure they just wanted fed, Chris retorted dryly. Oh, look at this, Peggy called out, again oblivious to her cousin's barbs. She leaned down next to the skeletal body on the floor and raised one of the large stones off of it with some difficulty. Beneath where the stone had once laid, it was obvious that the skeleton was wearing what remaining shreds were left of an old-timey maid's uniform. She must have been their caretaker as one of her duties. That's fucking nothing to me. How are we getting out of this dank-ass pit? We fell down like 12 fucking floors or something, Chris grumbled. Already getting down onto the floor to crawl back through the hole in the rubble to the lab. Eventually, the two of them did manage to find their way out, though. Or they died down there. Who knows? I haven't written it yet. Anyway, buy more Candle Cousins merchandise, and I guess we'll see how it goes for them if you catch my fucking drift. The end.
Damn.
That was a great story. Whew. That was such a great one-off, like, spooky, like, I don't know, I liked that a lot.
I wonder why.
Because they were cats.
There were cutie ghost kitties in it.
I've been waiting for... Whenever Candle Cousins or Frankenstein P.I. come back, we are just like, yeah! We're like fucking kids. It's great.
It felt very like Wishbone, like
Saturday morning,
Yeah.
like, oh, it's good, so good.
It's the Candle Cousins are my attempt at Goosebumps. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
for sure.
I found out that I'm not sure about this, and I could be fact checked if it's on the wiki. I don't know. I think the last Candle Cousin story was like episode 15 or something.
Oh, wow.
Was it?
No, surely not. No. Weren't they in your finale to season?
Maybe
They pop up in something.
they
but
may
it
have been
has
in the finale.
Because I think
a little long.
you had like crisscross timeline where
Yeah,
all
I did
three...
have that with Frankenstein. I'm not sure if the Candle Cousins were involved.
man.
They
Yeah,
were
you
in
wrote
a
that whole
story.
story about crisscross, make you jump, and how they
Yeah, how
fans.
Frankenstein was the
forget?
Miggity Mac Daddy.
Yeah.
Thank
I
God
mean,
you
he
went that
really is,
way.
though.
Thank God you went that way and not Cha Cha Slide
Dude,
for crisscross.
the greatest wedding song ever.
Oh, no. Every time that the Candle Cousins come up, I always think of the girl from the Breakfast Club for Chris. Allie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You mean the one that was bullied
that's
even though she was
perfect.
clearly the hottest one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she was eating her dandruff as a condiment, though. So there is that.
That is gross.
That's a little bit of Peggy in her there. Like,
They are
take a
related.
little column A, little column B, you know.
Yeah, eat some glue.
Eat some glue. It was the 80s, whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
Look,
finding out.
glue is satanic. We all know
That's
this.
true. That
I
is
mean,
true. It's a white sticky
we've-
substance. So,
That's
Oh
Yep.
shit!
I mean, that's what I call it when, me and Rich are alone together. Hey, Rich, take my
Gluing.
glue.
Yeah.
and I say because my mouth's stuck together. Get it?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's what.
I thought it was because you had a big dick in your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that too, yeah, but
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my wholesome
it was so good.
children's story.
This is so good.
I loved it. It's the imagery always
it's
is
great.
just so vibrant. Like I can
Yeah.
like the silhouette, the white silhouetted, ghostly figure and the kitties. It was so good. Mwah.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you, Greg. Especially for the kiss.
Yep. That's just for you, Jeff. The other one's got to
ASMR
pay.
Suck it, everybody else.
If anybody else wants one, they got to go to patreon.com/storylords. All right, I'll do it. You can
for
put
the
that on a
Greg
tier. I
Kiss
don't care.
tier.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Come
I'll
on.
do anything for money.
$500 tier. Greg gives you a little kissy.
A date
More
with
like
Greg.
a $5 tier. I'll do. Listen, I'm a cheap date. Let's go.
Yeah. If we put a date with Greg up, I would just spend all my money on it, and it would be counterproductive.
Be a circular
$500
industry.
tier. $500 tier. Greg takes you to the Sizzler.
The Sizzler
think of
before
worse
or
dates.
after? What are we talking about?
I thought the Sizzler was a sex move.
Yeah, it is.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure it is.
It is when you're with me. It always is.
Is that the burning of gonorrhea?
Yep.
Burning flesh.
Josh
yeah,
loves
yeah.
to put cigarettes out on people.
The
so-
inevitable
On myself.
heartburn afterwards. Yeah.
Rub it in my dick.
Deepest heat.
He smokes with his dick? What? Wait, what?
That's a parlor trick for you right there.
Yeah, I could hit it big in Vegas with that.
I mean, hey. Why not?
There was some sort of Australian show where people put their dick and balls in different positions to simulate
Puppetry of the penis.
Yeah. So I'm sure if you could smoke with your dick hole, you could get real famous.
Josh said that
People
like
like-
he's been practicing, for
People
Said it
like
like he was a
pass.
producer on the show.
Look. I may or may not have had a callback for puppetry of the penis.
Wait, is this a real thing?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Damn.
puppetry of the penis is real. I don't know
That's
if
real,
Josh
but I
Oh,
didn't.
okay,
Yeah, I
okay,
didn't
yeah,
get a
yeah,
callback. Yeah.
Cool.
On that note, we're going to take a
all
break.
the red was distracting.
Yeah, they didn't call me back.
what
I
they
went
said.
to an audition.
We're
They
going to
just
do some
didn't call me
shadow puppets with our penises on the break.
So come right back. Welcome back for part 4. We definitely didn't take a break and talk about inappropriate things and pissing. It
was mostly pissing.
It was mostly
I just
pissing.
remember the Sizzler.
We all remember the Sizzler.
Who could forget?
We all remember the Alamo, and we all remember the Sizzler.
Never forget.
I remember the Alamo.
It's part 4. It's my turn. I always enjoy going last. I don't. My throat is fucked. So
why
if
would
there's
you
some
lie?
coughing...
Why would you lie to him? Why
trying
the
to
fuck
be
are you
nice.
lying
I'm trying to
to
be
us?
nice.
It's all
but
about the strong finish.
Yeah.
You can rely on Rich Masters for a strong finish.
That final strong stroke in the
Nobody finishes hard like Rich Masters.
Like Rich.
Yeah. I like paste you to the wall.
Whoa,
My
what the fuck are you
episode-
talking about?
Like the scene in
Yeah, absolutely.
Glue me
My
to the
episode,
wall, Rich.
which is
Glue me to
episode
the wall, Daddy.
My episode is called "To Err is Humy, to Forgive Divine."
Nice.
I can't wait.
Caption: Elima, 284 years ago, 16 years after the Galactic War and the founding of Breakthrone. We start on an establishing shot of Elima, which, because I didn't previously describe the skyline or anything, because that shit is super boring in a comedy podcast, I won't bother doing it now. I mean, if you really want to know, there's the financial district and the industrial complex and the public baths, and there's the sexatorium with some hot sex workers outside. Imagine your deepest kink, and I'll paint a picture. Yeah, they're doing that right now. Fucking hell, Jeff, what the hell is that?
It's called missionary.
Damn, Jeff, you're fucking nasty, dog. What the fuck?
Damn.
And Josh, I'm not kink shaming, but I can't use that in a story. This is a family show. I mean, not a family you want to be a part of. Maybe maybe a stepmom trapped in the washing machine type family, but still.
I don't know what this F word you speak of is, so...
There are some beautiful architectural designs. There's the Crystal City. There's the other sexatorium, the slightly less upmarket one, where Greg's kinks are catered to. You know, where they... Oh, shit. What? My Google Doc just closed. Hold on one second.
Couldn't
Tension.
handle Greg's kinks.
Yeah, it was like,
Damn,
this
the
is
glue
not
in the
safe for
mouth,
work.
the sizzler. It doesn't fucking know.
There we go. It's back up.
Nude Tane.
I'll read this one
This
again.
is not safe for work.
NSFW.
There are some beautiful architectural designs. I stumbled over that word twice. I had a break and I still stumbled over it. Architectural designs. There's the Crystal City. There's the other sexatorium, the slightly less upmarket one where Greg's kinks are catered to. You know, where they in you in the slippery with a rusty swirled around your dirty canoe between two slices of... with a ball peen hammer right up the... with... and jalopy by a sad Presbyterian stuffed in a Jeep.
What can I say?
Where did the fucking soundboard come from?
Oh, I was doing
beep
that.
from?
You said I couldn't do voices, so I just focused on making a beep noise. Down in a lab by the docks, Dr. Anatomica finished her final touches
Oh, yeah.
on her newest and greatest creation. Look, they don't just have hookers and crime down by the docks, they also have legitimate businesses too. Weird, right? That invention, an illegal hooker bot. She took off her safety goggles to reveal the thick, bottlenecked goggles that were only slightly thinner that she used for reading underneath. Science log 390. I have just completed my beloved. He is twice as beautiful as that piece of shit that took my dignity and half of everything we'd built together to shack up with that younger grad student with the rounder methodology and the perkier conclusions.
Always gets them.
But I need him no longer. I can have my cock and eat it. My creation is perfect. Not like that first botched attempt to make a lover out of my favoured fruit, the cucumber. Many are those that have tried to master true artificial sentience, be it for good or for ill, but they lack the real driver for success, the real incentive, blue balls. My beloved will do whatever I command, can open any jar I need him to, will ask me how my day is and listen to the response without trying to propose a solution, and he will always be as lubed up and hard as I want him to be. Hence the 12 million space dollar bucks I've spent on penis hydraulics and beveled ribbon in this 12.5 million space dollar buck project.
This dude knows finance.
Now,
Financial district is pretty close, I've heard.
now, all I have to do is activate him, and then he can turn me on. Gordon, she yelled into the other room. Get in here, you sickening little green freak.
Jesus.
A tall, thin, green cylinder of a man came hobbling into the lab, footsteps squelching as he did. Yes, my mistress. Is it time for you to grind up and down my body with your soft parts again?
Oh my, soft parts is so fucked up.
Keep talking to me, Rich.
What? I thought you said you couldn't do voices.
That's a great voice.
This is fantastic.
And might I remind you and all listeners again that I'm a fruit and not a vegetable or a gourd.
God damn
Is
it.
this what our show is about now?
Propaganda. Propaganda.
This is straight up propaganda.
Oh.
Nice.
Because they come out of gardens.
Yes.
This is a good show.
That statement was fruitful. Anna rolled her eyes. No, you need to rest, lest your outer skin get too soft and moist. Now, quickly, remove the tarp from our new family member whilst I work my magic. Are you not worried that this experiment may bring us unwanted attention? Gordon said. The orthodoxy shun robotic research. It's worth the risk, Gordon. Now do it, you sex toy with a conscience. Gordon
AKA
pulled,
me.
This is the plot to fucking Westworld. What the fuck?
Gordon pulled the coverings off the robot as Anna rushed over to the controls and pulled the Frankenstein switch down.
Yes!
You know the ones I mean, the handles that cause a connection and make sparks. Look, if I knew all the science jargon, I wouldn't be working for a charity now, would I?
He'd be making his own Frankenhooker.
With blackjack and Frankenhooker.
And a sexy little shirt.
And a cucumber. Hughie sprang to life in all the areas Anna wanted him to. He's erect! He's erect! She yelled as she looked down at the engraved body before her. The nameplate read Hughie. Hughie blinked his eyes open. Mother? He asked. Anna shuddered. Oh God, am I wearing asbestos underwear or have I instantly dried up down there?
Oh no.
An explosion shook the building, and Anna turned to her lab assistant. Stay here, Gordon. Keep him safe. Hughie looked at her with doe eyes and reaching arms. Yes, master, Gordon said. Anna ran into the lobby, where through the dust and debris, men were pouring through the blown open doors of the lab. The men of the Brotherhood of Orthodoxy. And at the head of the armed group was her old college rival, Dr. Braghurst. She had a giant smirk plastered across her Botox-filled balloon animal lips. And as those around her aimed their laser rifles at Anna. Illegal AI sexbot experimentation. As I told you all those years ago, Anna, Braghurst smiled, you think more with your loins than with your brain. And you think more, I mean you, Anna struggled. You're a bitch!
Yeah!
Are you sure you're not a doctor of literature with comebacks like that? Braghurst said. Surrender and your research and your prototype, and I'll think about letting the Brotherhood of Orthodoxy avoid shots to your pretty face. I'm shocked you knew that avoiding shots to the face was an option.
Got him.
But oh man, Braghurst, did you uptight religious dickheads walk into the wrong fucking lab tonight? Anna smiled. A blur of massive shadow. Don't worry, it's not that dildo your mother uses. Descended from the ceiling instantly, landing on 3 of the Brotherhood with a sickening crunch and rolling with them until they lay still on the floor. A large limb flew out and thwacked another one's gun from their grip, taking the man's arms clean with it. The remaining 2 Brotherhood members aimed at the shadow and fired, but the bullets bounced off the mass and fell swiftly to the floor like your mother's underwear after a Ryan Gosling trailer.
And mine, too.
I mean, in this case, who can blame her? He is a beautiful man.
It's true. Science, man.
The blur jumped the attackers with precision, making short work as it created a Looney Tunes-esque smoke cloud and left them with broken limbs and a lack of consciousness. May I introduce my friend Oryx? Anna smiled.
What?
Oryx stood as furious as he'd ever been. It had been a hard few weeks for the Splicer, separated from his friends in a past he knew nothing about. He had come to terms with the fact that they may never find him, and it had made him frigid and distant, like a Republican's sex life.
Is that a thing?
Straight.
Instead of full-on shit in pants or leaving a Braghurst-shaped hole in the door on her way out of Dodge, the religious scientist instead stepped to one side to reveal a shadowy figure of her own, a robotic figure that Oryx knew. "Humi," he whispered, glad to see his friend, rushing towards him with open arms. "Where the hell have you? I've been looking." In return, Humi swung a buzzsaw arm at the crocodilian, which Oryx only just dodged. He looked up at his friend and noticed the blazing red eyes. "Kill mode enabled," Humi said, without emotion, as he marched towards Oryx. 3 days earlier. Wait, what do you mean? Is Rich doing the old split the narrative for dramatic effect shtick again? Look, it works, doesn't it? You want to know what's happened to everyone's favourite crocodile and legitimate human, don't you?
Yes.
What do you want instead? A load of inappropriate jokes about your parentage? Well then, stop whining and let's get back to it. Also, your dad is totally still coming back. He just can't find the specific cigarette brand he likes. I think they're called Loser Disappointment Dipshit Child Cigarettes.
Holy
Straight
shit.
up attacking our listeners right now.
Fucking hipster,
Man, I love
dude.
this.
Oryx fell through the rift and landed with a crash into the alleyway, crushing a pile of cans that 3 homeless people were using as pins in their bowling game. A woman behind him cheered, "Steve Reich!" "That just doesn't count, Aruba," an older man said petulantly. "Idiots falling from the sky aren't exactly kosher for alley ball." Another man laughed as he went to help Oryx up. "What you gonna do, call the league, Sally?" Oryx stumbled to his feet, feeling as beat up as Ben Shapiro's pride every time a person of colour is recognised in any positive way. Sadly, in today's society, that isn't often, which is why fuckwads like him are so enabled. Oryx stood, using the man's shoulder as support, straight into a full 6 feet taller than his crutch. Aruba gasped. "He's a splicer!" Oryx looked them up and down, ready for confrontation. It was at least a positive that he was in a reality where he was being recognised for what he actually was. It could have been far worse, a reality where billionaires control all forms of media, or whereby the governments of the world are actively seeking to disenfranchise the people, or where Storylords only had 1/10 of its listeners signed up as patrons. Oh wait, that's this reality!
Oh my god, I hate this reality.
They need a
Well,
Sonic
if you want to
Shriek in
change
there.
this reality, you should head to patreon.com/storylords.
Storylords.
You almost said M-Class.
I almost said him.
Like, seriously, guys, a time may come when this show has to go monthly or something because we don't have the necessary support. So please consider pledging. At least that's what Oryx wants you to do, and he seems pretty smart.
Thanks, Oryx. I agree with you.
Thank you, Josh. However, to their credit, the vagrants seemed to not be bothered by his appearance, more just initially shocked by his intimidating size. Sally took off his coat and threw it up and over Oryx's shoulders, and the younger guy, Dominga, poured him something hot from a thermos he quickly stashed back behind a dumpster. "Always got time for a fellow mistreated war vet," Sally smiled. "You have my gratitude, my friend. I only need to cease the tremors from my shock arrival here, then you may have your coat returned." Oryx nodded at Sally. When did the war end? Poor lad's got PTSD, Aruba smiled. Her Norn skin brushed with a tinge of blue. Don't worry, buddy. We've all got a touch of that. Me and Aruba fought at Tefla's Ridge, and Sally was a dredge runner in the Siltax belt. Dominga shook his head. War ended about 17 years ago now, after it was declared bad for business. You're safe here. Oryx did the calculations. This would have been a few years after the Pillars destroyed his home and sent him... He looked around suddenly. My friends. I was travelling with 5 others. They should have arrived concurrently. One is a Norn cyborg who might have tried having sex with one or all of you. One is a magician. You may not have noticed him. He has a tendency to blend in. And one is a human inside the body of a robot. We seen the robot a few days back, Aruba nodded. Thought it was some sort of war weapon at first and hid. He was really disorientated, kept singing show tunes and doing improv bits, and then he asked about the nearest costume store as soon as he saw us. Didn't take long before someone took him. How long? Who? A spotlight shone on them from above. Oryx looked up. He saw a large military vehicle hovering above them as the force of VTOL engines blew trash around the alley. My vintage porno mag collection, yelled Dominga.
No!
Me vintage can collection, yelled Aruba. My vintage nothing, because homeless people don't really have things and need help in our society, yelled Dominga.
Collection.
Voice of reason.
Armoured and gun-wielding men descended from the ship, pointing their weapons at Oryx immediately the moment their feet touched ground. They looked as if they were going to beat him without asking a simple question, judging him based on looks and not deed. How have the NYPD travelled to the future? Oryx asked.
Get him.
This is a poignant-ass episode.
This is good.
A keen study of history, if ever there was. Brotherhood of Orthodoxy, one muttered. Eugene freaks were outlawed on a lemur after the armistice. You're going to have to come with us. Old Sally stood forward, between Oryx and the guards, shaking a finger at the soldiers. You ain't got no authority here, you damn zealots. You go back to whatever pre-war hole you came out of, preferably the one your Lord and Saviour came back from the dead from. You're worshipping a zombie. Did you know that? Jesus was a zombie. He spat on the floor in front of them.
Hell yeah.
One of the Brotherhood stepped forward and hit Sally with the butt of his gun, his nose exploding into a spray of blood. Oryx pounced instantly, and we cut away at this moment to the reactions of the 3 homeless vets, as Oryx treated cops how they should be treated. With respect and honour, you say? Fuck off, narc. Get the fuck out of this podcast. No, seriously, if you think that, then turn the podcast off and go sit in another room. I don't even want you sitting in the same place as the electronics you use to listen to us with, in case you catch a stray joke. You're banned. You hear me? Proper banned. Did you
I wonder
learn?
why only 1/10 of our listeners are patrons.
Did you learn nothing from all that 90s rap you profess to love?
Yeah.
Fuck the police now. Before you listen to any more Lord stories, you go listen to Pigs by Cypress Hill and repeat for the week. Eating breakfast? Pigs.
Homework.
Taking a dump? Pigs. Getting busy? Pigs. And when you realise that the thin blue line is a long streak of yellow, you can come back and rejoin your fellow human beings.
So good. So good.
And when
Preach it!
And when the blood... Shut that, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
and when the
right.
blood was dripping from Oryx's jaws, and he was only slightly horrified by what he had done because he'd only killed some subhumans, he turned to find his fellow vets had run off and left in fear. He ran to the other end of the alley, where he was met by a hover van with blacked-out windows and graffiti of the California raisins, the Poddington peas, and another famous fruit or vegetable. I don't know, what am I, Mr. Answers? The side door opened, and a green arm poked out. Come with us if you want to live. Oryx squinted. Are you a cucumber man? I call him my stickle, you know, because he's a pickle and I stick it in my... Look, get in.
Weird.
Fuck.
Otherwise, they'll be back in greater numbers, and what happened to your friend will happen to you too, a voice called from the driver's seat. Oryx complied, and the van sped off. Hume activated and tried to move, but found his arms tied down to the table. His first thought was articulated well enough. Friend Hallgrim, if this is your attempt to find out what sex with a genuine is like with a genuine human, you are barking up the wrong titanium carbonium composite.
All humans have that.
That's what we are. It's what we're made of.
That's what my doctor told me.
You are fascinating. A thin, reedy voice came from behind him, feminine, but like a school headmistress, clipped and precise. Immoral, certainly. Ultimately sinful, of course, but so unlike anything I've ever seen. You have not seen a human before. You should get out more, lady. She walked around to Humie's front, and he wasn't surprised by what he saw. She was thin and tall, with short grey hair. She wore the most ostentatious crucifix around her neck, as if she'd won the Miss Christian Worship Awards and wanted everyone to know about it. Or she was some Christianity-themed stripper, although Humie predicted probably the former. Then he noticed the precision drill in her hands. She straddled him and held the drill to his head. Why go out when there's so much we can do here? I really must protest. I must locate my friends. When I am finished here, you won't even remember your friends. You'll have me. My name is Dr. Muta Braghurst. She removed the screws from his faceplate and took it away
Misery.
to reveal the bucket-esque metal skeletal structure underneath, like a bargain bin Terminator.
Like the one guy from RoboCop 2. Yeah. When he rips his face off.
Humie suddenly remembered. Oh, I forgot. Ah, that hurts. Please don't remove my face. There is no need to pretend, my boy. The real pain will start now. She reached behind his eyes, and then Humie really did feel what agony was like, and for once he wished he wasn't human. He screamed as she pulled a small metal box from his brain, then went silent. Braghurst held it in front of her to survey it, then placed it in her waistcoat pocket. When she looked back to her prisoner, his eyes flashed red. Awaiting programming, master. Oryx walked into Dr. Tomica's lab, along with the weird fruit man, Gordon, who waddled as if he had composted in his pants. The lab was far more equipped than it had any right to be following a costly and centuries-long war, and it gave off very strong paperclip vibes. Yes, all right. I played all sides. I don't care if you judge me. War is war, Anna said quickly as if it were nothing. Must be fortuitous to have the option, Oryx sneered. Look, I'm not justifying my decisions to you. War makes a good opportunity for research and experimentation, and I know you're going to use the Nazis as an excuse on why that's a bad thing, but that doesn't invalidate my point now, does it? Good breakthroughs in ballistics, psychology, radar, aircraft, cruelty, intolerance, genocide, Oryx nodded. When the end is life itself, it can't justify any means. Anna stopped and shook her head in annoyance. Look, my science isn't concerned with any of that. It's currently concerned with getting my Bunsen burning, if you catch my drift. So, I'm not exactly in the at-all-costs game any longer. My last invention was making a beloved fruit a sentient sex toy, so it's not like I'm a Dr. Mengele here, is it? Gordon pulled...
A fruit like a banana?
She wants that pickle.
Gordon pulled at Oryx's slacks, and when the splicer looked down, Gordon mouthed, "Kill me," at him. I am not one to judge on ill choices in a time of war. I just want to find my friend. Anna beckoned the splicer into a small lab off the main room. And I can help with that. I just have to ask a few questions. I've been building something for a few years now that is extremely unique. And lo and behold, 3 days ago, something with the same half-life signature came from a portal that you also emerged from. She turned the lights on, and it illuminated the still form of his friend. Humie! Oryx ran to him, but couldn't rouse him. He snapped at Anna. What have you done to him? I created him, you dolt, Anna glared. He's supposed to replace Gordon, to replace my ex-husband. He'll have all the good and none of the bad. At last, men will be obsolete, rather than being as close to possible as obsolete for the last 10,000 years.
Not wrong.
Oryx laughed. You created artificial intelligence so that you could have sex with it. Sounds like you're not too dissimilar to most men yourself. I'm not kink-shaming, but wow. Anna shrugged. Look, pal, I choked on my sandwich yesterday and splooshed in my underwear. I'm a woman of complicated loins.
Jesus!
What the fuck?
This chick is gnarly.
Rich, who wrote that?
Who wrote it? The real problem is, I lack the essential spark. Hume can't hold programming or memory. He's an automata. I can't crack it, but your metal meat pole might give me the answers I'm looking for. And don't say this is a paradox, because time is complicated and not an exact science, thankfully for the author of this tale.
I love this, like, post-menopausal horny mom that you got going. This is great.
Oryx nodded. Okay, so what do you suggest? I suggest we turn him on and set a trap for some religious dickheads. All right, so you caught up. I swear, you listeners have a worse case of blue balls than Anatomica. You all have to learn the art of patience. Wow, Hubie just threw a buzzsaw at Oryx, so let's get straight back to it.
Whoa! Holy shit!
Oryx ducked and dodged Humie's continued attacks, backing further into the lab. I won't fight you, my friend. You are far too dear to me. There is no friend detected here. Only future chum, Hume declared, as he swung another attack.
But chum means friend.
No, chum means bloody mess that you throw in the water.
Yeah, but it also means friend.
It does also mean friend.
He's not English, it doesn't matter.
I'm not English.
Yeah, chum means friend in America, too.
All right, okay. Only future,
Listen.
dead things.
Yeah. Write your way out of this one, Rich Masters.
Rich is always right now that I'm here. Okay, we're flipping the script.
All right. All right. Greg said you were right.
The
so
paradigm
you're right.
has shifted. I hate this.
Greg couldn't stay. His chest panel randomly popped open and produced a framed photo of the team, which Hume looked at, confused, and then threw to one side. Anna ran to Braghurst and grabbed her by the hair and punched her. You always were a poor scientist, Braghurst, but trying to appropriate my work is something new and low. Humans trying to steal AI's work for a change. That's a twist.
God damn.
The two fought, but Oryx was taking a pounding from Hume's kill mode. I am programmed to destroy all enemies of Dr. Braghurst. Oryx took blow after blow as metal hands came raining down on him. He could barely think, a red mist cloud in his mind, but he refused to hurt Hume, as he had hurt so many others before. He'd rather die. Hume replicated himself 2 new spiked hands and stabbed them into Oryx's shoulders, pulling his arms apart to try and split the man in 2.
Ugh.
Oryx nearly blacked out with the pain, but suddenly heard an electrical fizzle, and as Hume fell to the floor, Oryx looked around to find Gordon stood with a weapon that throbbed and gyrated, with ribbing and dots all over it, and a weird purple tentacle that twisted and writhed coming out the back.
Why don't we sell this in a merch store?
Oh my god, yeah.
I made it out of her old vibrators. He winked at Oryx. She certainly wasn't using them anymore. Too vanilla for her tastes. No! Screamed Braghurst. If I can't have him, nobody can. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a device that she activated, and with a few small explosions, Hume melted into slag on the floor of the lab.
No!
Oryx went dark and pounced at Braghurst, his predatory instincts taking over, and when he awoke,
yeah.
the Christian scientist was nothing but red paste and a large crucifix.
Damn.
Good.
Like Jesus.
Man,
Fucking metal.
Man, that got me so hot. Anna sighed, picking a metallic box up from the leftovers of her old rival.
Too.
Then grabbed Gordon's collar and pulled him into a side room. Come on, you, let's test a groinal hypothesis.
Oh, no.
Jesus.
R.I.P. Gordon.
Cucumber, man.
Gordon shrugged to the camera and said, "It's a living."
Oh, man.
Anna pushed the box into place behind Humi's eyes, her Humi, and once his faceplate was secure, his eyes shone with their usual blue light. He looked straight into his friend's face, taking his snout in his hands, and kissed him atop the nose.
Oh.
I thought I was lost, friend Oryx. Oryx nodded. I also. It would be a shame to lose such a unique human. They spent a few days with Dr. Tomica, allowing her to base her plans for a new Humi model on the Awake model. Yeah, I know, it's all very confusing. At the end of the build, as Humi realised that a copy of him, a metallic copy that looked almost identical to himself that he had helped build, he became morose and quiet. Thank you both for all your help. Anna shook their hands. My undercarriage aches in anticipation, and Gordon is no doubt grateful for the save. Gordon deaf-stared into the distance, a flood of memories that meant that not long after they went, he would walk himself into a food processor.
It's that Vietnam dog. But it's
Oh, God. 1,000-yard stare.
Oryx elbowed his friend in the ribs as they walked out of the lab and into the night air. You seem uncharacteristically morose, my friend. I am forced to admit that I am not as organic as I first thought, given the circumstances of my origin, Humi sighed, and by that I meant air blew out from his neck vents. My dear, your creator was the least human person I have ever met, Oryx smiled. Humanity, in my humble opinion, is based on how you live, not how you were brought into the world. Unless you're a Nazi, of course, and then you're always an inhuman speck of dog detritus.
He's preaching today. He's fucking preaching.
Humi embraced his friend, extending his go-go gadget arms to a suitable size to get them around the hulking reptile man. As they hugged, Oryx smelled ozone on the air, and suddenly a rift opened up below their feet. Gravity took the wheel and tore them downwards. To where? Well, I guess you'll have to tune in to Storylords next time to find out if I write about them next time.
Oh my god.
Vincent
The ends.
He's so evil, this man.
Oh,
that was great. That was so good.
That tugged at my heartstrings.
I told you it would.
That was like the yin and yang, like the most sexually charged episode of anything ever, with the most loving moment.
They're friends, man.
That's how I feel about you guys.
Ah, same.
You can figure out which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'll pick.
Which one?
The former.
Yeah. I wanted to stick those two together because I love them so much.
That was great.
That was a sweet
together.
story.
Yeah.
They're so good.
I was sad when they were fighting. I don't like to see them fight.
He wouldn't fight him. Couldn't
It's like-
fight his best bud.
Your best friend's parents, like the cool ones that when you come over, they've got like the Kool-Aid out and the fucking games are on, and you're like, hell yeah. And then they're mad, and you're like, oh my, you can't come over. And you're like, oh, what
But
the
the
fuck?
Nintendo 64.
I need to escape my own mental prison of my own life.
My parents are also terrible. What the fuck?
Oh, man.
My parents only let me out of the cage for 2 hours a day, right, guys?
God, and then I got to work
Right,
on
everybody?
a car and hold a flashlight for 8 hours. Why am I here? Why am I here?
And you're holding it wrong the whole time
Yes.
somehow.
You can
Yes.
bet.
Yep.
And then,
Anyway,
okay, yep.
Yeah, that could be a whole podcast, right?
Yeah, that'd be a whole thing. Gosh, man, you guys make this look so easy. It's crazy.
you did pretty good.
I
Yeah, I
think
was
you did
gonna
really, really well, Greg.
Yeah, and I only say pretty good because I don't want to inflate your ego because you're already hot and talented. I don't need you thinking you can do this too.
Yeah, he doesn't want you taking his job.
Yeah, it's happened before.
I would
Wait.
say that it's like 41 episodes does give us a little bit of a way in which we do this, right? Like it's about the timing and stuff like that. Because I remember, like, first couple of episodes, I think, like, reading the stories was the hard bit. It wasn't hard. Oh, this is going to sound such like a humble brag. Like, it wasn't hard particularly being funny and having the jokes, right? And telling a good story.
Of course, you are the best.
He's the funny man of the group.
It was the timing of reading the story. Like, because reading out loud is something you don't do very often.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
it just, I don't know.
Found tough.
I think I learned to, like, let go. Just, whatever. You can't think about it, right?
I will say that before Story Lords, I would do M-Class podcast, and my throat would be perfectly fine when we finished. But for some reason, Story Lords has destroyed my ability to speak.
Well, that's because after the show, we fucking just jizz in each other's mouths.
We go to town on each other's face holes.
Just Razzer-style deep-throat it.
You guys meet halfway where I'm at, and we, go to town.
Yeah.
It's going to be a longer trip for Rich, but I guess he can be in the middle.
He can go down one of his chimney teleporters. And just
His Harry Potter chimney.
Sometimes I open my closet and I'm like, oh fuck, there's Rich. Jesus.
Down. He
I'm getting
does that
changed,
voice.
kid.
Don't mind me. He does that voice of this pickle guy that he is.
I mean, if he did, shit would be over a lot quicker. Don't mind me.
Greg would be squirting juice everywhere.
Pickle juice.
Squirting cucumber juice everywhere.
What was that? The stickle.
Yeah,
you guys both had the stickle in
And
there.
the Frankenstein switch.
Yeah.
The Frankenstein switch. Oh man, that's crazy. It's like I didn't know shit coming in, and somehow I even was in this hive mind.
Dude, it happens, man. It's just something about the format.
Rich and Josh tend to hive mind every episode. Sometimes I slip in there too, but
We're 1983 babies, baby.
Yeah.
Oh baby,
yeah,
baby.
they're old.
We're old men.
Yeah,
We've only got so many memories left.
we're drinking our hot tea and with our Melba toast over here.
Yeah. They got their Metamucil going.
Yeah, our
they're ready.
Yeah, I'm not the baby on the podcast anymore with Greg on here, guys.
Greg, when were you born? Like 1989?
I'm not gonna say that.
1992.
Yep, 1992.
Oh, fuck
Well, my
you,
birthday.
baby.
My birthday actually just happened a few days ago.
Wait, you're Aries too. Oh, cool. Me
Wait,
too.
what the fuck?
The
I didn't
20th.
say happy birthday.
Yeah,
Happy
it was on the
birthday,
20th.
Greg.
Well, this is a double whammy because Josh's is coming up and mine just
Yeah.
happened. So yeah.
Happy birthday, Greg.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday, Greg. I'll give you your present in private.
Wink, wink.
I'll give your present to your privates.
I'll also say happy belated birthday, but it now sounds like I'm just doing it because the other two did it.
Kind of lomming on here.
Yeah.
Guys riding coattails.
Yeah, this guy. Well, he's got coattails for days. So,
How would I wear my top hat without them?
He's wearing his smoking coattails.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man. Good episode, guys. I really enjoyed that.
Hell yeah.
My throat is fucked, so I'm going to do a very, very...
I can help with that. Oh, wait, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So,
It's a
with
homoerotic episode.
Very, very gay.
with that, we're going to close the book on today's episode. I don't know how that became a thing, but it's so bad.
I love it.
Look, you did a whole bit where you had a beat machine.
I had
So
Captain
much so that
Pike
it
next
crashed
to me.
your Google on your fucking ancient laptop.
No, it was Captain Pike. He was sitting next to me. Just keep saying yes, Christopher.
Is that actually a figure you used?
No, I had a little soundboard on my phone. I sometimes save sounds that I can do, like ripping paper and stuff like that.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
That's the last thing this podcast needs.
No, he's onto something
Soundboard.
here.
Nah,
Let's let this fucking genie out of the bottle, dude. Let's do this.
It's just going to be AM radio at a certain point. Welcome to Story Lords.
Whoa.
What's your name, Rich? Richler Master Race.
Oh, Rick Master Race.
Damn, son, where'd you find that race? Oh, no. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's all good.
Richler.
Right. So let's bring out all C prompt ball.
It's out.
Right, okay, let's do the first prompt. And it is, oh my god, Religion by Heavy Metal Cat.
Oh no.
That's cool. Yours could
You guys have fun with that.
Could have done it, yeah.
Uh-oh.
And the next one is a Bazooka by Granola Daniels.
Granola Daniels here. Holy
So,
shit.
Religion and Bazooka.
Wow.
They go together.
Okay. If you think I'm not going to write a story about a religion based around bazookas, you're fools.
Use those nuns and those babies.
If you think I'm not going to put Bazooka Joe in my story, then you're a fool.
Man.
Bazooka Jesus.
I'm slightly hamstrung by the fact that I have to do a Hallgrim and Asher story next week.
You don't have to do it.
I
You don't
do.
have to do anything.
I do. So we'll
I was
see how that
supposed to
goes.
I was supposed to continue my main story this time, but I decided to do a Candle Cousins because I thought it would be shorter.
Dude,
Well.
guys, there's no supposed to. It's whatever
Spoiler.
you want.
Damn straight.
It was not shorter.
No, it was not. None of our stories were short today. I think mine was the shortest, but mainly because it had lots and lots of dialogue in it. But it was
Well,
still
it's colder over there than it is here.
11 pages. Right.
Why
so,
did Rich fake laugh? That was actually pretty funny.
Thank you, Jeff.
if you saw those prompts, you didn't see them. Shut up. If you listened to
Yeah,
those
shut up.
prompts, shut up, or I'll set
Shut
Greg on
the
you.
fuck up.
We have gotten out of control.
I think they like the abuse. That's why they keep coming back.
Just gaslight them into like.
It's Stockholm Syndrome, the
Now you like it. You're
podcast.
crazy.
Let's go.
If you
I
heard-
love the audience.
I do too. In my own
You fucking
special
liar.
way.
I love 1/10 of the audience.
If you heard Religion and Bazooka and you were like, oh, fucking useless twats, then you should go over to Patreon.com.
You should get an attitude adjustment first, I think.
Get a human adjustment.
Finish. Let him finish.
Then you could go over to patreon.com/storylords, and for as little as $5 a month, you can suggest prompts, join the Discord, read the stories. If you want to pay more, there's more stuff, and we got more stuff coming. We got Maury Lords or After Lords, whatever the fuck we call it.
Afterlords.
We've got
Maury Lords could
Maury
be
Lords.
problematic. That's like a whole thing right there.
what, because of
Finding
Maury.
who's the father.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, Maury.
Maury
Lords.
Maury
Yeah.
Povich Lords.
Yeah. Afterlords it is. So we got Afterlords, we got other stuff coming as well, but you don't get that unless you're a patron.
What about
and you'll
Sally
never
Jesse
get it.
Rafter Lords? Is that a problem?
A classic
No.
reference that Gen Z is gonna love.
You know them. You love them.
There are other tiers where you can get more stuff like access to those sidecasts that we do. Eventual creator credit in the book when we figure out how to do that. But I will say only 10% of our audience, our listening audience, are patrons. It is very, very difficult to do this with the amount of money we get. If you want merchandise, if you want those sorts of things, you need to start supporting the show if you're not already doing that.
Up them pledges.
Up them pledges,
'em,
do whatever
baby.
you can.
Come on.
And if you like the whole idea of us having more guests on, that means that the show is a quarter of the extra of the length. So that doesn't work. That's bad maths. A third extra.
Oh my god. It's repeating, of course.
Yeah.
Financial district.
The
So it-
economy.
So it means more editing. It means that, we have to sit here talking for longer because, we hate doing that. So if you want to support the show, now's the right time to do it. We want to as always, thank... Well, let's thank Greg for being our special guest today.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me. Thanks for taking the chance on me. Thanks for supporting me. All the stuff.
No, we love
We
you,
love
buddy.
you.
We
And
love you.
Aw.
We're glad that you made the music for us, and you're welcome back anytime.
You are legitimately, genuinely a part of the show.
Oh, I've just got an
Yeah.
email from our producer. It says if any returning guests must legally not wear pants. So there's that. Is that a problem?
Luckily,
I ain't. I already
luckily,
adhere to
Greg
that
was
rule right
already
now.
nude.
Damn. Fucking
Damn
ahead of
straight,
the curve.
Rich.
Damn.
I mean, have you guys not got your video on? Because Greg and I have.
Shit, we're missing it.
Yeah, sorry. Oh no, the pants just came back on.
Oh no, it's
webcam
worthless now.
My webcam has salad dressing all in
heck?
it. Oh no.
If you want,
Dressing.
I think that was a quote unquote. If you want that secret special tier where you get to see us on video, no, there's never going to be that tier.
Don't do
It's not a thing.
That's not a thing, and it will never be a thing. But yeah, thanks as always to Greg for the use of his music, which is absolutely fucking banging. And
The fourth story lord.
you've got like a couple of weeks still of like new tracks that you haven't heard that Josh is going to
Oh,
put in between the
there's-
stories.
There's more coming too. Don't
What?
worry.
What?
I'm the fourth story lord.
Yeah,
I gotta hold up my bargain.
You'll get one more this week than you normally get.
That's right.
There you go. So thanks to everyone who is a patron and everyone who is a listener. We love you all, some more than others, obviously.
Hey Greg, where could people find you on the internet or see your stuff?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, if you head on over to VIDAZEN.card, that's card with 2 R's.co. That's got a whole bunch of stuff. You can find all the links to contact me. You can find my music. You can find my Patreon if you want to support me that way. You can commission me for work. I'm pretty much, just a music slut out here, just ready to go. So, I work with people on lots of different types of stuff. So whatever you hear, I'm usually making all sorts of different kinds of tracks. What else? On Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. You can search up Santosha, which is like a rock band around the Lancaster area that I play. We have 2 shows coming up. One is on April the 4th. That's in Lancaster. It's kind of like nearby where Phantom Power is, but DM for address, and I can get you that. And then the other one is on the... oh, God. Hold on. I need help. The other one's on the 25th. There we go. Technology.
April 25th.
April 25th, yes. Thank you, Josh. And that is at the Hilton, it's at the Marriott, which is just like a hotel, and they have like a music conference there called Launch. So you can catch us there that day. And then
Where is the Marriott located?
that is in Lancaster City as well.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's right in the
next
center.
to the Amish folks.
I mean,
yeah.
Greg got a hotel. Donald Trump couldn't even get a hotel. He had to get the Four Seasons landscaping bullshit.
True.
Yeah,
true.
they do us right in Lancaster. So they we are happy to have a couple shows. We'll probably have some more stuff going on here. So follow us on all the socials. And then if you want to check out some other music that I do, it's called Dream Pass. That's all one word. And that is a whole bunch of like lo-fi type, beats and things like that. So I'm just
Dream
into
Pass
whatever.
rules.
Yeah.
Dream Pass
Yes.
fuck it. Well, Santosha also rules. I was
Thank
gonna
you.
say, like, I went to a live Santosha show, and
Ugh, I'm sorry.
shut the fuck up. The audio mixer. The audio mixer had Greg's vocals half as loud as they should have been, and it was still one of the fucking coolest shows I ever went to. So
Yeah.
Come on
check out
and-
Santosha.
Yeah, fucking if your knees still work because you're under the age of fucking 30, then yeah, go ahead, come out, have fun. Because shit, man, that
You can
fucking hurts.
lean. You can lean when you're 30 plus.
Dude, I headbang at the
Yeah.
shows, and then like the next fucking week,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
just like,
fucked. Yeah.
Christ,
Yeah.
and like there's just no way.
I remember being like on stage doing crazy, like just moving around, just moving. Now I can't do that shit. I don't know.
Dude.
It's a young man's game.
That's a young man's game. Pretty soon, I'm just replace myself with a Humibot.
That would be sick.
Honestly, I would be fine with that. But yeah. So
They're gonna do that for you. Don't worry.
I, for one, welcome our new Santosha overlords.
Yes, if you're if you're in any way capable of checking out a Santosha show, fucking do it. Check out Dream Pass everywhere better music is found on the internet. Dream Pass fucking rules. It's hard for me to pick a favorite VIDAZEN anything, but I don't know. Dream Pass is kind of hard to beat.
I have a favourite, but it's because it's separate ways. Because it was the first thing you did for the podcast, and it's like it has a personal resonance with me. Like it's hard for me to separate it like from a lot of stuff you've done, because like for anyone who doesn't know and who listens to Pond's Theatre on Subspace, Greg did all the music for that as well. So
He's a fucking machine, man.
like yeah, it's just insane. He completely scores every single episode.
Yeah,
I think
it's
that's
nuts.
the stuff.
He's like a sound director
Yeah.
for that podcast.
Yeah, that's the stuff though. I think that like gets me going the most. Right? It's like when I have the total freedom, when I can like sit down and like try to impress myself and like experiment with things, because it gets a little old after like a while. I mean, like it's easy just to fall in like the same ruts, right? Like it's kind of like with writing, like, oh, okay, I know I can do this, go, ABC, follow the plot diagram. Okay, we're good. But like at a certain point, right? It's like, I think that's what like the composing element of it is so fun for me. So I'm like, if people want to commission me and you want me to do like a country dubstep fucking metal song, like I'll try. It'll probably sound like dog shit, but I'll try for you.
I don't believe that at all.
Yeah,
I mean, I have my bread and butter too. Like I like to go to the same things, but yeah, I mean, I'm always open to things. But I like painting with other landscapes too. Like when there's others behind a story or behind like a piece of art, So
I have an anecdote that speaks to this. Greg and I were just bullshitting in text. He was talking about making these tracks and everything, and he's like, I'm going to do some, like, crazy fucking, like, wild dubstep stuff for Josh's stories. And I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what you should do is put, like, medieval lute music in it as well, just offhandedly. And he created some of the most fucking banger-ass medieval lute EDM I've ever heard in my life.
I fucking was listening to it with my headphones on here at the computer, and I just got immediately the stank face. I was like, oh,
hell yeah.
Yo, I just found like a giant library of like the most generic one-off things, like "damn son" or "let's go to the club" and shit. And I'm just like, this fucking rules, and I know exactly where I'm putting this.
So good.
Oh man.
Jeff, where can people find out more about Storylords?
Well, they can head to storylords.page on the internet.
On the internet?
I'm there right now.
You can use the internet machine in order to surf on over to storylords.page.
Is that an e-page?
I believe so. I believe it's not an email. I've been told. It's an e-page. But over there you can pretty much... I don't think anything exists on the internet that isn't linked there for Storylords. Mm-hmm. Like, merchandise will be linked there if we ever fucking get off our asses. Like the Twitter, the SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Patreon, Amazon, Contact, and reviews. Which you could click on and go and review us on iTunes if you'd like to. I mean, the Storylords animated intro by Nate Bitgurney with Storylords theme by VIDAZEN. Little bios of all four of us with images and links to everything we do. Also, every piece of art that Rich has made for the show is on there as well.
Some of them are good.
All of them are good.
They're all bangers. All killer, no filler with this
right.
podcast. That's what
right.
I
True.
say.
I do have fun doing those. Like my favourite was the bebop one I did.
Oh, I love
Hogs
that
and
one.
Rifts.
Yes.
because it looks like a rap album cover. I don't know why. It just looks like a rap album cover.
I'm looking at it right now. It fucking rolls. Like he's reaching through the rift, like opening it. It's so sick.
The one that I hated doing was the Cryptids and Passages one, where I did a full fucking background for it, and I was like, this is why I don't do backgrounds.
Yeah.
And it's
What episode was that?
Cryptids and Passages. It's got the Bigfoot in sunglasses with "I'm DB Cooper" written on his t-shirt.
That's right.
I mean, that's a pretty fucking choice, though. I like the Cowboys and Fungus one from before
Oh,
that.
everyone
That was
either
fucking-
loves that one or hates it because it looks
fucking love it.
like he's pimply. Because it's
Yes. Oh, man.
right.
That's a great one though. The one that always like jumps out at me is the Mountains and Revenge one with like the stone man coming out of the background.
Yeah.
That's
The
fucking
crevice,
dope.
yeah.
That one fucking is sick.
Damn.
There are some I phone in as well. There's like
Doubt it.
No.
uh,
Never.
inns and libraries where I've got the demon pulling the book off the shelf. That was pretty phoned in. Sometimes
you
I
did-
have like half an hour to do it though.
I will say, Rich has phoned in 2 of these, in my opinion.
Wow.
Which
I know
is,
what one he's going to
minutes,
say.
Which is ships and zoos and blood and festivals. He phoned those in hard.
I literally phoned them in. I picked up my phone and I said, Jeff, I don't
Can
have
you do
time
them?"
to do the art for the podcast.
And I was like, yes, sir, Mr. Master, sir.
Right away.
Rich
Chief.
took control of Jeff's brain and made him do it and worked through him? Holy shit. That's fucking crazy.
That's a British power. They all have it. Don't
Can
let
you do
'em.
that to me sometime, Rich? Past, the hours of maybe 12 a.m. and 6?
I have been hating Evan a lot more.
Who doesn't?
Wow.
It was.
I really hope Evan doesn't get old enough to listen to this podcast and get
he
into
knows I
it.
love him.
Yeah, we're just kidding.
Yeah.
He's got the same birthday as my other son.
That's right. Me, Josh,
Woo!
comedy gnome.
But half as many
Known
Legos.
comedy gnome, Josh Henderson.
Comedy gnome.
But he was born in 2018, which
I'm
makes
going
me
to go
wanna
kill
die.
myself.
That's incredibly young for a guy on a podcast talking about dicks and butts and shit.
He's wiser than his years.
I'm like the Doogie Howser of dicks and butts, dude.
Oh my god.
Right.
He's the dips.
I think we're heading towards 4 hours for this podcast.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So, please support the show. Please listen to next time. Our prompts are going to be religion and bazooka. Who knows how we're going to fit that in? You'll know because you'll be there in a fortnight. Thank you to Greg again for coming on. You're always welcome here, buddy, and we love you lots.
Thank you, guys. Love you guys.
And I also love the other two, I guess.
Yeah.
Right, we'll see you in 2 weeks for more Story Lords goodness. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.